so important for our communities and for our republic.
That's right.
More First Edition, folks, right after the break.
Stay with us.
Rick Leventhal reported on the biggest stories of our time. Now he's fighting to bring you the truth, no matter what it takes. Watch The Leventhal Report, weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern on Newsmax 2.
Hi, folks, we're back. If you've been injured in an accident that's not your fault and you don't have an attorney, listen up. We have legal professionals standing by to answer your questions and tell you what your case is potentially worth. Pick up the phone, call now.
If you've been in an accident that wasn't your fault, you could be entitled to potentially significant financial compensation. So pick up that phone and call the number on your screen now. I said right now. Call now, not later now. I don't hear the phone ringing. Listen, I'd call you, but I don't have your number. I know you're watching. Yes, you. Just pick up the phone and call.
Call your favorite attorney now. He'd call you, but he doesn't have your number.
Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. Introducing Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation without physical strain or impact.
It is so quiet that none of my coworkers even know I'm using it.
Strengthen and tone your legs, increase your mobility, flexibility, and balance. Plus, stimulate healthy circulation.
My joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better. It makes me feel stronger too.
Perfect for home therapy. Whisper quiet to use while you work.
My circulation is moving, I'm burning calories, and it makes me feel energetic.
Call now and order Ellipse, the seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. Call and get upgraded to the Deluxe Bundle. Get the faster motor for 5 miles of steps per hour, the step counter, the sport mat, and wireless remote. Call now.
Does the state of this economy have your head spinning? Let American Medical Plans relieve one burden, health insurance. American Medical Plans specializes in under 65 health insurance plans that have zero copays and no deductibles. You choose your doctors and hospitals. These plans have nothing to do with your income and are 30 to 60% less than Obamacare. If you're paying too much for your own health insurance, call American Medical Plans. You deserve better. They will customize a plan managed by you, not the government.
Before we go, a little bit of good news on this Friday after this abysmal week with Zohran Mamdani. Elise Stefanik running against Kathy Hochul to be the next governor of New York State.
That is awesome news, Krisha. I recall meeting Elise Stefanik in 2014 in Saratoga Springs, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And she was a rising star. That's the label that many people in the Republican Party in the state of New York had given her. And she had aspirations to run for higher office. And as you can tell by her political track record, she actually executed on that vision, not only for her district, but also fighting for all New Yorkers as well as everyone around the country, rising to the third top Republican.
Wow. Yeah.
In the nation. That is huge. And now she wants to be the #1 leader in New York State. And you know what? The wind is behind her, pushing her forward.
That's right. And she also shed a lot of light on the anti-Semitism that is rampant in our elite institutions. I can imagine that they'll play the clips of where she cross-examined the presidents of Harvard, UPenn, MIT, and the...
Wake up to Friends in the Morning, Perry and Jerry. Weekdays on Mornings on the Dove. Encouraging and informative, the Dove TV. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative. Helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
Well, good morning to you and happy Friday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove with Jerry Builder.
Oh, no, that's a lot of pressure. Good morning.
Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Friday. A lot going on in the news. I just want to remind you, I had it here, so let me see if I can kind of put it in the camera a little bit. There it is, Operation Christmas Child Shoebox.
Yep.
And people are gathering those all over the place. If you're doing this, great. It's where you can go online to Operation Christmas Child, and you can they'll tell you what to do to create a box for a little boy or a little girl in the various ages. And they have to be delivered to the drop-off place by the 3rd week in November.
All right.
And so Ashland Christian Fellowship in Ashland, First Baptist in Medford, Path Church in Central Point, Trail Christian Fellowship, Eagle Point, Redwood Country Church in Grants Pass, and Azalea Community Church in Azalea. Those are the ones that we know of so far.
All right. Well, Grandma Pam's involved in Operation Christmas Child. She's got all the grandbabies all scheduled. They're all going to be packing boxes, buying the gifts, but she made a rule.
What?
For the grandbabies and for our kids.
What?
She said, don't give those kids money for this. You make them work. I want them working for the money. So they appreciate this, and then they bring the money, and we're going to go buy this stuff for Operation Christmas. So she's got the whole program planned.
She turned it into a learning lesson.
It's a project, and I'm just the observer. I'm the kind of like the UN observer force.
Yeah, well, that is great. So have your kids go out and mow lawns and make whatever.
Right.
And then earn the money, and then go buy it and put it in the box.
Yeah. Yep. So here we go. It's a great time of year. Christmas is upon us already.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right, so take that under consideration this morning. Otherwise, good morning to you. Happy Friday. What's going on?
Well, write it down. It's National Fountain Pen Day, celebrating the timeless beauty and functionality of the fountain pen. Now, do you ever write?
Yeah, I have.
Do you?
I have, and you know, on special occasions. The problem is I use it so little that when I pull it out of the box to use it, it's dry.
Oh, okay. Well, that can be a problem.
Yeah.
And a lot of artists, writers, professionals still like fountain pens.
Yeah.
They like the flow of it. I think it's harder because it drags more because you don't have that ball rolling in there.
Right.
You know what the best pen made is? Says theDove right on. These.
Yeah.
These are the best. They're like a uniball. Yeah. They flow well. The width of the line is right. And I didn't realize, too, fountain pens come in different width tips to, give a little bit different size in the line.
Especially now, do you those who do calligraphy with it?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, do you remember the day and age? Now, we used to get it from my grandma and grandpa when we were younger. Remember gifts that were pen and pen sets?
Oh, yeah.
And oftentimes the pen in there was a fountain pen.
Yeah.
And you know what I remember from my experience as a kid with the fountain pens? A lot of ink.
Oh, a lot of ink.
Ink all over the place.
So were yours the dip or were yours the little cartridges?
Had both.
Okay.
Yep, we did both, and I got ink from both on me.
Of course you are.
All over the
place. You're a kid. You're supposed to do that.
Anyway, enjoy your
If you've never had a Dove pen, you let us know. We'll send you one.
Yeah, there you go.
It even has the little rubber thing so you can do your phone.
And it's got a little grippy on. Yes, it's wonderful.
We'll send you one.
Yep, and these are the best. All right, it is all about, check this out. It's National Retinol Day. Celebrating the most popular anti-aging skincare ingredient with National Retinol Day. Oh, you might want to send me some.
Anyway, you're on a roll here.
Yeah, baby. We also, now this one, we already got sent. It is National Bittersweet Chocolate with Almonds Day.
Okay, yeah,
check that out. We got, and you know what? I don't know is this bittersweet? They're clusters. Kathy, thank you very much.
Yeah.
These are very nice. I can't bite it now, but I'm gonna. I want to check.
Go ahead, you keep talking.
Okay.
Very sweet.
All right. Yeah.
Delicious.
What can go wrong with this? You got antioxidants in the chocolate. You got healthful aspects in the almonds. Everything is. This is a win-win, and we're the winners. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Last thing we got is National Jersey Friday. Express your fandom for your favorite players and team on National Jersey Friday by wearing your team's jersey. Now, the word Jersey comes from the island of Jersey, known for producing high-quality knitted woolen garments, which was what the early jerseys were made out of. Now, did you know that, football teams wear their dark colors, their main home color? Now, the main color for the Dallas Cowboys is blue. But they never wear their blue home jerseys because they're believed to bring bad luck. Rather, they have worn their white athletic apparel for all but one home game since 1971. So, so they always wear white. Yeah.
Why are athletes so superstitious?
Check this out. This is cool. You're going to like this one.
Wow.
This one's for you. In 1976, the Major League Baseball pitcher Andy Messerschmidt was a member of the Atlanta Braves, which, by the way, was owned by Ted Turner. He wore his name, Ted Turner had him put, instead of his name Messerschmidt on the back, he had him put Channel as his nickname on the back, and then 17 was his number. So he said Channel 17, which was to help promote Turner's Superstation TV station, Channel 17.
In Atlanta.
Yeah. Now, they had allowed players that year to wear their nickname on their back rather than their last name, and he made Messerschmidt wear Channel and then 17. Now, did you know, there are a lot of jerseys that are sold to the public. A lot of us buy our favorite players' team jerseys. Yeah. So what happens to the money that goes to those team jerseys? Because there's some really popular. Shohei Ohtani, Los Angeles Dodgers, #1. Aaron Judge, New York Yankees, 2. Freddie Freeman, Los Angeles Dodgers, #3. Also, guys like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Lionel Messi, the famous soccer player, Tom Brady. These are all the top-selling jerseys. Well, they take all that money and they put it into a pool and they distribute it out to all the players.
Really?
Yes. Now, they have a different percentage in each of the leagues, from the NBA to the NFL and stuff. And I guess the top players get a little bit bigger cut, but it's basically pooled together. You know what I would do if I was in the Players Union? And I was like, say, Shohei Ohtani, like he doesn't have enough money? Say, hey, wait a minute, that's my name on the back. What are you giving my money to other people for?
Oh.
That's the next negotiating point. Wow. Anyway, put on your favorite jersey. Root for your team, root for your player.
So you'd be wearing a Yankee?
Good luck. Yeah, I got the Yankees. Yeah, I got 2 jerseys. No, I only have 2. I have New York Giants and New York Yankees. That's it. That's all I got.
I'd put on Channel 18.
I like this.
Yeah, I'd put on Channel 18.
We need to do this.
All right, good morning to you. Happy Friday. Wow, where do you go with this? Well, he's kind
right here.
Huh?
Right here.
He's kind of bittersweet, and he does the weather, too. Here.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, rain likely mainly after 10 a.m. with daytime highs in the mid-50s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with a light southwest wind. Continuing down the Willamette Valley, rain likely, then gradual clearing to partly sunny for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs near 57. A chance of rain, then mostly sunny in Eugene with a high near 59. In central Oregon, mostly sunny in Prineville with a high near 54. A chance of rain in near 50 in Bend. A chance of rain and snow in near 47 in Sun River. And a chance of showers in Boise, Idaho, then mostly sunny in 56. A chance of showers with patchy fog along the Oregon coast, otherwise mostly sunny in mid-60s for Coos Bay and Port Orford and 56 in Brookings. A chance of showers and mostly sunny in near 60 in Crescent City. In southern Oregon, a chance of showers and mostly sunny for the Rogue Valley with highs near 60 in Grants Pass, 58 in Medford and 53 in Ashland. A slight chance of showers and partly sunny and 53 in Klamath Falls. Into Northern California, a chance of rain in upper 50s in Wairika. A slight chance of showers in Redding, then mostly sunny in mid-60s. Decreasing clouds becoming sunny in near 67 in Chico and 70 in Sacramento. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then mostly sunny and near 70 in Santa Rosa. Decreasing clouds with a high near 69 in Napa. Partly sunny in San Francisco with a high near 68 and decreasing clouds and 72 in San Jose. It's a snapshot of your Friday weather from Grange Co-op.
Oh, baby.
All right, there's Mount Ashland. Not sure what it's doing.
What is that? What are those little things floating past the lens?
I think that's a little snow.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not that cold out.
No, we'll wait till it gets a little lighter to determine that.
Eternal optimists. What's that floating by the lens? Oh, it must be snow. I love it.
Actually, it's a beehive.
Yeah, it could be. Okay, here is a message that is timeless and true, and here given by the Reverend Billy Graham.
Now, the climax of history is going to be judgment. The Bible warns that the world is in for a gigantic judgment. The only bright spot is the promised return of Jesus Christ, because the scripture teaches from one end to the other that Christ is going to come back someday. He's going to set up his kingdom, and evil and the devil are going to be eliminated. And this is going to be heaven on earth when Jesus comes back. You see, Jesus Christ loved us so much that he went to the cross and died for us. He took all the hell and all the judgment on him at the cross. And the scripture says, God so loved the world, God so loved this present world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever, that includes you, whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
Well, there you go. Good stuff all the way around. All right, 11 minutes past the hour. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. And I forgot about Fox Nations does this Patriots Award.
Oh, yeah. Right.
It's kind of like Fox doing their own Academy Award.
Yeah.
They really don't give it out to themselves, but they do give it out to a lot of people.
Right.
Well, guess who was the Patriot of the Year last year? And here she is giving a little bit of her speech.
Risk and reinvention aren't optional. They're obligations. Be relentless in experimentation. Never stop trying new things. Keep pushing yourself to grow, both intellectually and personally. Embrace even open your mind, then change the world through talent and hard work. We talk a lot about the greater good. The truth is, the greater good is built by the few who dare to think differently. It's the designer who imagines beauty where others see data. It's the engineer who stays up all night refining an algorithm that reshapes an entire industry. Those who produce give. They create employment, tools, knowledge, and eventually cities. And from their creation, the common good rises, naturally, beautifully, inevitably. So America, tonight, let's make a personal pledge to celebrate ambition and scale imagination to create a more advanced and prosperous society. Individual productivity is not selfish. It's the heartbeat of civilization. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, she got the Patriot of the Year award. It's really interesting. She's not on any of the magazines.
Oh, yeah, she looked like a cover of Vogue right there. But, of course, don't look for her on the cover of Vogue.
Now, what do first ladies do? They always find a cause and they do various things.
Yeah.
And that's great.
Yeah.
They're very humanitarian. But behind the scenes, she's been talking with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
What?
She's had this open conversation with him, and that contributed to the reunification of 8 Ukrainian children with their families.
Really?
Yeah. And so they tracked this down and come to find out that she's been pretty active getting children from Russia takeover back into Ukraine.
Really? Isn't that interesting? And wouldn't it be interesting to just kind of overhear one of their conversations? My question would be, what language do they speak?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Does she speak Russian?
I don't know what. I know she speaks about 6 languages. I don't know what they are.
Well, maybe you should call up Polina.
Yeah.
A translator. All right, this next story is kind of interesting. When's enough?
On what?
Money.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that yet, but who has?
Well, Tesla shareholders.
Oh, gosh. I know where you're going.
Tesla shareholders approved Elon Musk's pay package. He's the first guy to have a pay package of $1 trillion.
With a T. Yes.
With a T.
Yes.
And over time, he'll receive up to 12% of the Tesla stock back.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
So I don't know how they package this. Some of it's cash, some of it's stock.
Yeah, you're right. I know he got a lot of stock, yes. But
Okay.
it's $1 trillion worth.
Well, it is. And
Yeah.
I think what's interesting about this is that, look, he is the brainchild behind all that.
Absolutely true.
So,
yeah.
Anyway, but how much is enough? So he is officially now the first trillionaire?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Yep.
Gosh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's nice to be on top, isn't it?
All right, this story today is kind of under the radar.
Okay.
But there's an argument going on before the Supreme Court today. We're going to hold private conferences today to consider whether it will hear a challenge of its landmark decision in 2015 ruling on same-sex marriages.
Oh, this is off the radar.
It's not often that these things come to the surface where they're reconsidered.
Whoa.
A general practice is that the Supreme Court does not grant review without considering a case in at least 2 consecutive conferences, according to the Supreme Court blog. And apparently that has met that threshold, and they're going to look at this. Could they overturn this?
Oh, my goodness.
And what would be the reason?
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this. This is really interesting, yeah.
Could it be, it's very political, obviously, but could it be that we're coming to the conclusion that there are only 2 sexes?
Could that?
No matter how you slice and dice it, there's only 2 sexes.
Right.
You cannot make a boy into a girl or a girl into a boy. The DNA doesn't allow for it. The structure of the body doesn't allow for it.
Yeah.
So it's strictly...
Well, you have to look at basic biology. You can't rewrite it.
Well, okay. Yeah. So this will be interesting if they decide to hear the case.
Oh, boy. I got news for you. I think if they just simply hear the case, you are going to see the left erupt in a way that has rarely been on display.
Well, this brings into focus, who are we as humans?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, good point.
And then the last story here this morning is that another federal judge in Rhode Island, ordered that the Trump administration find money by today to fully fund SNAP benefits. Where are they going to go to find the money today? Oh, I know. Let's take it from Obamacare.
Yeah, let's take it from, yeah.
How are they going to do this? And what's the consequences if he doesn't?
And how does a federal judge, again, get the power to weigh into the operations of the federal government?
I don't know.
And usurp the power of the executive branch. I don't get it.
I don't either. I don't know how a federal judge, district judge, can tell the president to go do this. And what happens if he doesn't?
Yeah.
You're going to take his parking place away?
Oh, I thought that on the way in, because I was listening to the story and I thought, what are the consequences? What do they do if he decides,
I don't know.
I don't either.
We've lost our minds.
We have.
Anyway, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is.
Makes good headlines.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Gives us something to talk about.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, get your shoe boxes. Get them filled up, get them ready to go. They have to be delivered to the drop-off place by the 3rd week of November. That's Thanksgiving week. In the meantime, bittersweet chocolate-covered almonds. We'll be right back.
At Rogue Hearing in Phoenix, we help you hear life again, clearly and comfortably. From expert hearing tests to custom aids and more, the team at Rogue Hearing delivers care you can trust. Rogue Hearing in Phoenix at the shops at Exit 24. Personalized hearing care right here at home.
Welcome to Rise Direct Primary Care. Imagine a healthcare experience where you're known by name, cared for like family, and treated with compassion. How is that possible? With an affordable, flat monthly membership, you receive unlimited primary care and minor urgent care visits. No insurance needed. At Rise Direct Primary Care, we offer a friendly, affordable healthcare experience where you get a whole hour with your provider. Located in Central Medford and accessible by phone or text, we can typically get you in the same or next day. We prescribe urgent care medications directly from our office, saving you a trip and wait time at the pharmacy when you'd rather be at home getting better. Personalized medical care with a human touch. Rise Direct Primary Care is all about healing the sick with compassion and keeping the healthy healthy. Rise Direct Primary Care. We're here for you. Visit risehealthdpc.com or call or text us 541-827-8603. 541-827-8603.
Your property demands equipment with more reliability, durability, and versatility built in. Kubota equipment is ready to get the job done right.
All right, good morning to you. Happy Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, listen, traveling apparently is becoming a problem. The Department of Transportation has decided that we need to cut at least 10% activity down at 40 of the airports. And so travelers at Portland International Airport and Seattle-Tacoma International Airport are being advised to call the airlines before turning up for the Federal Aviation Administration yesterday said they're going to be cutting back 10%. It's possible your flights are being canceled, certainly delayed. And all of this is because of the government shutdown. And as you said earlier, who's to blame here?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Well, they are. The Democrats came out of a meeting yesterday, and they basically believe that the more pain that the American people are feeling from the shutdown, and now this is the next step of pain, the better it is for Democrats. They think that this is a good negotiating tool for them, and they think that they're coming out on top as the American public feels more pain.
Well, there was a guest on Fox Business, Stuart Varney. His name is Grady Trimble. Is part of the FAA. Says how this. By the way, controlling what they're trying to do is control the activity in the airspace.
Okay.
I picked up an article yesterday. This is also concerning private pilots as well, people flying their own aircraft.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. So what they're saying is that the airspace, and you have to learn all the different airspace things. That it's crowded and they can't guarantee separation the way they want to.
Oh,
okay. So anyway, here's what he had to say.
Stu, probably several thousand flights will be canceled, and that would impact several hundreds of thousands of passengers. And to answer your second question, here's a map. This is preliminary and it could change, but I mean, take a look. This is impacting just about every major airport in the country. If it's a big city, it's probably going to deal with these cuts. The FAA will direct airlines to cut 4% of flights on Friday, tomorrow, and then that 4% will increase by 1% each day until it hits 10% next week. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says air traffic controllers have been calling out because they're not getting paid during the shutdown, and that's putting pressure on the system. Duffy says this was a proactive, data-driven decision, and this unprecedented step is the best way to keep flying safe.
We had to have a gut check of what is our job. Is it to make sure there's, minimal delays or minimal cancellations, or is our job to make sure we make the hard decisions to continue to keep the airspace safe? That is our job, is safety.
I'm not aware in my 35-year history in the aviation market where we've had a situation where we're taking these kind of measures. Then again, we're in new territory in terms of government shutdowns.
Okay. Well, again, if you saw that map, there was San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle all on that map.
So I imagine it's kind of like a domino effect because although, we're in a smaller airport here, and by the way, you are our resident aviation expert and board member.
I like flying.
Yeah, well, yeah. So how is it affecting the smaller airports like ours? And especially because a lot of our flights go through Portland. And
it looks like the smaller airports are not affected, but if you're coming from a small hub to a large hub, you could be flying into trouble, so to speak. And so you could leave here and go to Denver or go to L.A. or San Francisco and get tied up down there. So you need to find out if your flights are can make it all the way through.
Okay, all right.
So, and it comes back to the big question, when in the world are we going to knock this stuff off and get this thing straightened out?
Well, yeah, good question.
All right, well, let's take a look at the satellite image. Here's what's happening on the weather scene. A little bit of a reprieve, but more coming?
Oh, yeah, we're looking a little bit more sharp. Look at it out there.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to get all of that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, let's take a look here.
I don't know if Leon has his finger on it or not.
No. You know what is funny? Because I looked at my instant map this morning. It shows me where the rain and stuff, and it says no rain. And I went out and I got my car and I had to turn on my windshield wipers.
Yeah.
So what's up with that? Because it says no rain today, but there was a big band coming. So we're not looking at anything until like late next week. What?
Well, that band could do what Leon says it's called the split.
Yep.
So we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, your buddy Alan Dershowitz.
My buddy Alan.
First name basis, spoke to Newsmax's American Agenda about the pincer movement of anti-Semitism coming from both left and right, and we're seeing it from the right now. That is really shocking in the wake of Heritage Foundation's own issues. Let's listen into Alan Dershowitz.
So, look, the conservative movement has to get it straight. And it has to condemn all kinds of anti-Semitism, anti-Zionism, double standards in approaching Israel. They have not done that. They're falling into the same trap that the left is falling into by tolerating and encouraging and voting for people like Mamdani, who is the mirror equivalent of Tucker Carlson on the hard left. Anti-Zionist, anti-Semite, a bigot, irrational. And we're seeing a pincer movement against Jews. Let's remember one thing. When in the 1930s, when Stalin fought against Hitler, communists against fascists, they had only one thing in common. They both hated the Jews. And both killed Jews. Both sides killed Jews. And we're seeing that pincer movement now in the United States from the extreme right and the extreme left. Up until now, the right has done a much better job in distancing itself from the anti-Semites in its midst than the radicals on the left have done. But this blow-up at the Heritage Foundation seems to show something different. So I don't think that he can survive this, and he has not done a good job in disassociating himself from the biggest Tucker Carlson.
Wow. Wow. Okay. I had Bob Just on yesterday. We talked a little bit about this problem, and he makes a good point, and we need to understand this. The left is loving this infight with the right over anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
And look, when we start devouring our own, for whatever the reasons are, okay, here's the deal. We got to learn how to say, I disagree with you. Okay. All right. But somehow the narrative got in the middle of there where they need to be canceled. No, they have a right to say what they want to say. You know, people don't like what you and I say, but we shouldn't be canceled.
Well, they've tried.
Oh, well, they've tried. Here we are, eating chocolate. Okay, but you know, I have to say this. Alan makes a good point. Stop. All of us on the right, stop and think about where you are.
Yeah.
Think about your messaging.
Yeah.
Think about how you're going to respond to this, because the left is loving this turmoil. And you have to ask yourself, on the Jewish issue, if you are an anti-Semite, in other words, you think the Jews are problematic, you have every right to believe that. But it's counter to what the right policy and ideology stands for, and it is certainly counter to Christianity. And then you have to ask yourself, where do you belong in that mix?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what happened to Tucker Carlson. I talked to Bob yesterday a little bit about it, you know, and he was a little wishy-washy on it. But I don't know what happened to this guy. He came out of Fox as a conservative martyr. Then he goes over and he does this stuff, and you go, all he has to do, if he didn't mean it, all he has to do is take a show and fix it.
Yeah.
But he's not doing that.
Right.
And I don't know what's happening to the Heritage Foundation. This is just really the saddest thing I've seen happen yet. I go, oh my star, this is awful, you know. But according to Alan, it doesn't look like he can survive, and he probably can't. When you call your staff venomous,
right?
Who's going to work for you?
Yeah.
He called them venomous.
Right.
Gosh, I go, well, that's a tough day at the office.
Yeah, especially in the type of an office it's supposed to be. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, good morning to you. Listen, it's a nice day in the neighborhood, and we have bittersweet chocolate-covered almonds.
And we have white chocolate. I mean, just, to make it go over the top.
Yeah.
Yep.
And your fan club brought that in.
Well, no, a very nice viewer and listener, yes.
Your fan club brought that in.
I wouldn't be that bold as to say that.
They didn't come, they came through the office. Where's Jerry? What am I?
Yeah, let me also tell you.
Where's Jerry? Well, he's home getting his beauty rest.
Well, it's also a very, very good friend of Pam's.
Oh, okay. Okay, anyway, good morning. We'll be right back.
Every day in Southern Oregon, lives are shaken by poverty, violence, and hardship. Last year alone, the Salvation Army reached more than 11,000 people in Jackson County with food, shelter, and critical support. Behind every meal served, every family housed, and every life restored, there's a volunteer making it happen. Please join us. There are many ways you can volunteer and make a difference in someone's life today. The Salvation Army doing the most good together. This message made possible by the Oregon Health Authority Hospital-Based Intervention Grant.
Hey, it's your old car here. Remember me? Remember us? You barely even turn me on anymore. It's clear you don't need me, but that's perfectly fine, my friend, because you can choose to give this old car new purpose and donate. There are incredible nonprofits out there that accept cars just like me. So call or donate online. Donating a vehicle is easy, the pickup is free, and your gift is tax deductible.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God, and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond. But that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
Good morning, 27 before the hour. A lot going on in the news, and as you well know, Israel's trying to figure out what to do with Hamas in Gaza, and all the peace talks and the moving of the yellow line back and forth, the exchange of hostages and hostage remains and all of that. Well, to the north of them, you got Hezbollah.
Yeah.
And they're back up in Lebanon, raising its ugly head. And guess what? They launched an attack on Hezbollah yesterday. So let's check in with CBN News Watch.
This is CBN News Watch.
Thank you so much for joining us for CBN News Watch on this Friday, November 7th. I'm Ephraim Graham. We're going to begin this half hour with news from the Middle East. Israel launched its largest attack on Hezbollah's infrastructure in southern Lebanon. It happened Thursday, and it's the largest since the 2024 ceasefire. As Chris Mitchell now reports from Jerusalem, the escalation signals Israel's determination to prevent the Iranian-backed terror group from rebuilding its arsenal of weapons.
The Israel Defense Forces say they've completed a series of strikes on Hezbollah infrastructure and weapons facilities in southern Lebanon. The IDF says Hezbollah is working to reestablish its terrorist infrastructure and poses a clear and present danger to the state of Israel. Before the strikes, the IDF issued an evacuation warning in order to prevent civilian casualties since the weapon facilities are in the middle of populated areas. A Knesset briefing reportedly warns that Hezbollah, with help from Iran, is rebuilding its military strength faster than Israeli strikes can stop it. The impacts of Israel's 2023-2024 military campaign are fading, and that Hezbollah continues to smuggle in weapons through Syria and by sea, and is also producing its own arms. The IDF says the attacks are just a preview of what's to come if the Lebanese army doesn't fully disarm Hezbollah. On Thursday, Lebanese President Joseph Aoun condemned the bombings, but said that negotiations are the only way to end the nearly daily Israeli attacks on his country. The U.S. is pressuring the Lebanese government to disarm Hezbollah, but in an open letter, Hezbollah says it will resist any attempts to disarm it and warns Beirut against negotiations with the, quote, Zionist enemy. Meanwhile, the IDF released documents that chronicle the incestuous relationship between Hamas and UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. The IDF uncovered details of Hamas operatives employed by UNRWA and documents revealing Hamas's use of UNRWA, just the latest evidence of how the UN group and Hamas have worked hand in hand. But amid the concerns about terrorism, there was also some hopeful news. President Trump announcing on Truth Social that Kazakhstan would be joining the Abraham Accords. The president posting, Kazakhstan is the first country of my second term to join the Abraham Accords, the first of many. Blessed are the peacemakers.
And Chris Mitchell continues our coverage now with us. So, Chris, Kazakhstan is now in the Abraham Accords, as you reported. What nation might be next?
Well, President Trump, in a speech last night, he made a big hint that it might be Saudi Arabia, might be the next place, the next country into the Abraham Accords. He said that at an event with in the presence of the Saudi ambassador to the U.S. One obstacle for Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords, Ephraim, would be the recognition of a two-state solution. It seems like Saudi Arabia wants some, at least language, that there would be a Palestinian state, perhaps with the Palestinian Authority. That's what Saudi Arabia wants, but Israel does not want the Palestinian Authority to play a part in any two-state solution, and they don't want a two-state solution by any means, especially after October 7th. So there may have to be some sort of compromise, perhaps on both Saudi Arabia and Israel, to open the door and to make that possible. But that's probably the biggest nation right now that would be on the eve of maybe joining the Abraham Accords.
Chris, how serious is the situation in the north?
Well, very serious, and some people think that it might be there might be a prelude to actually the IDF going into southern Lebanon in a major way. Right now, they actually have 5 separate spots within southern Lebanon that they are holding, and they have held since the ceasefire from November of 2024. So that's an expectation. There might be a ground incursion by the IDF to actually go ahead and dismantle Hezbollah. It's a difficult situation for the Lebanese government. There are some elements of the government that want to disarm Hezbollah. But it's not clear they either have the ability or, to some extent, the political will to go ahead and disarm Hezbollah. It's not easy. The Lebanese army doesn't either seem to be willing or capable of disarming Hezbollah. And one Lebanese Christian member of parliament said that Hezbollah right now is insisting on dragging the country into another war. He says that's unacceptable for a minority like Hezbollah to really hold the rest of the country hostage. But Israeli officials are warning what might happen if Hezbollah does not disarm.
Yeah, well, God, they're right back in it again. It's just so amazing to me. I mean, and all this pressure, this international pressure for them to do nothing.
Yeah.
And to give Hamas its own state, Palestinians its own state, and then you got Hezbollah. Don't they understand these people want they want Israel off the map and Jews dead?
Right. Yeah.
I don't. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that the president hasn't allowed them to finish the job sooner.
Yeah.
A lot going on there. All right, let's take a look at a guy that always finishes the job.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, rain likely mainly after 10 a.m. with daytime highs in the mid-50s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with a light southwest wind. Continuing down the Willamette Valley, rain likely, then gradual clearing to partly sunny for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs near 57. A chance of rain, then mostly sunny in Eugene with a high near 59. In central Oregon, mostly sunny in Prineville with a high near 54. A chance of rain in near 50 in Bend. A chance of rain and snow in near 47 in Sun River. And a chance of showers in Boise, Idaho, then mostly sunny in 56. A chance of showers with patchy fog along the Oregon coast, otherwise mostly sunny in mid-60s for Coos Bay and Port Orford and 56 in Brookings. A chance of showers and mostly sunny in near 60 in Crescent City. In southern Oregon, a chance of showers and mostly sunny for the Rogue Valley with highs near 60 in Grants Pass, 58 in Medford, and 53 in Ashland. A slight chance of showers and partly sunny and 53 in Klamath Falls. Into Northern California, a chance of rain in upper 50s in Wairika. A slight chance of showers in Redding, then mostly sunny in mid-60s. Decreasing clouds becoming sunny in near 67 in Chico and 70 in Sacramento. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then mostly sunny and near 70 in Santa Rosa. Decreasing clouds with a high near 69 in Napa. Partly sunny in San Francisco with a high near 68 and decreasing clouds and 72 in San Jose. It's a snapshot of your Friday weather from Grange Co-op.
Mount Bachelor this morning.
Wow.
How about that?
Lots of white up there.
Yeah, not enough, but it's
Not
there.
enough. There's
Hang
some
in
other
there, Jerry.
stuff. Yeah, there's stuff poking through, huh?
You see that stuff, Jerry?
Yeah.
That breaks legs.
Well, moving on. Slowly.
Okay.
Well, he is gone, but certainly not forgotten, and he was born on this day in history.
You ever notice how humans buy us these fancy beds?
Oh.
And somehow we still end up in theirs?
Yeah. Orthopedic memory foam, bamboo cover, cooling gel, all that nonsense. And yet here I am taking up half the pillow like rents do.
Truth is,
when we curl up beside them, something happens. Their heart slows.
Their breathing matches ours. Their stress melts away. It's that oxytocin thing, the love hormone. Same one that bonds moms to their babies. Guess we're the babies and the protectors. We don't sleep next to them because we have to. We do it because that's where we feel safe. That's our pack, our family. When we press our paws against them in the dark, we're saying, I trust you. You're my world. And they trust us right back, even when we snore, kick, or steal the covers. We've been doing this for thousands of years, keeping each other warm, guarding each other's dreams. So yeah, we have our own beds. Yeah. But we choose theirs because home isn't a place on the floor. It's the space between heartbeats. And that's where we'll always sleep.
Okay, so what that was a conversation between Jerry and Pam as to whether or not the dog was going to sleep on the bed.
And Jerry lost. As usual.
What that is, and actually it's funny. It's just that it didn't
it's really good.
It didn't get introduced right.
In the wrong place.
Okay, it's two dogs talking about they'd rather sleep on the human bed than their own bed. Okay, so by the way, we got to get some of those other ones where the young kids are talking and they're dressed up like Trump and all that.
I love that.
Some of them are hilarious.
Right, it's all AI generated.
All right, so let's go back. What is this day in history?
Well, this is a day that a very special person was born, and let's take a look.
He was called America's pastor, and his words reached every corner of the world. On November 17th, 1918, Billy Graham was born in Charlotte, North Carolina. Over his lifetime, he became one of the most influential Christian leaders in modern history, preaching to more than 200 million people in person and hundreds of millions more through his televised crusades. Known for his powerful but humble style, Graham served as a spiritual advisor to 12 U.S. presidents, from Truman to Obama, and became a unifying voice of faith during times of war, civil unrest, and national tragedy. He passed away in 2018 at the age of 99, leaving behind a legacy built not on fame or fortune, but on faith, hope, and the belief that one person's message of hope in God can truly reach the world.
Well, they said he died at 99.
Right.
But if you add the 9 months.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
From when he was conceived.
Yeah.
He was 100 years old.
There you go. Amen.
They kind of track that out,
I like that, yeah.
But no, you know what's interesting about Billy Graham and his children? The message has never changed.
Yep. Amen.
Good stuff all the way around. All right, we're going to go talk to a couple of dogs. We'll be right back.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare now to learn how.
21,000 interviews, that's a big milestone. It's huge. My first adventure into anything that would have been political was the late Senator Mark Hatfield. And he said, I'm available for an interview. And so I ran in the studio and I interrupted the programming and I flipped the switch and went on live on the air with him. We had an interesting exchange. And that was kind of my first political interview of anybody that was of notoriety.
Faith isn't meant to be hidden. It's meant to be worn boldly, shared joyfully, and lived daily. At wearyourjesus.com, every piece isn't just clothing. It's a conversation starter. Whether at school, work, or your favorite hangout, your style can point to the hope of Jesus. Visit wearyourjesus.com today and be bold in your faith. And for a limited time, use the discount code below at checkout to save big. That's wearyourjesus.com. Wear it, live it, share it.
Finding that next great series to binge watch is fun, but your neck, shoulders, and body don't count that as me time. Hi, I'm Tamara Miller, owner of Organic Element Spa, and I invite you to put down the remote, get off the couch, and schedule yourself some real me or we time with your favorite service, like one of our many massages, couples massages, or facials. Your health, safety, and comfort are always top priority with us at Organic Element Spa. We can't wait to see you. Book your appointment today.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? Good thing we didn't turn the mic on today.
Well, we try. Yeah.
We try.
Yeah.
All right, I had Lucas Miles on. He's quite a guy, and he is now the executive director at Turning Point. He and Charlie Kirk were very good friends, and he's kind of taken over some of the division for the evangelism part. And I did ask him, I said, is it true that young men, all reports are saying young men are being attracted to faith and to conservative values, especially after the assassination of Charlie Kirk? And here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen for some time just a major move among young men, specifically Gen Z men, towards leaning, pushing them more towards conservative ideas. I think we have to continue to steward that. I think that Charlie was a major constant in that way. When you have somebody who's so prominent, whose life is stolen in this way, it makes a very big impact. And I think that, although Charlie isn't here physically to keep his voice going, he was probably the most filmed person in human history. I mean, we have literally probably, thousands of hours of unreleased footage, from him that will come out from these different events that will, drip out over time. And people are going to be hearing Charlie Kirk's voice, for a very, very long time. And I think that for, the young men that were following him, and probably even some that were just on the fringes that kind of checked him out periodically, but, weren't maybe fully, didn't know where they landed on some of these issues. I think that there's been an inspiration that's happened where people have seen what took place. They saw how he was violently, murdered in front of all of us. And I think that has created an even deeper resolve. I mean, we have people showing up to church for the first time, saying, I just bought a Bible. I've never been to church, but I used to watch Charlie Kirk. And, I want to, take this more seriously now. And I think that that's a trend that we're seeing across the country in churches across America. And I think that it's a great time, to really, for the sake of the gospel, utilize this moment that again, the enemy intended for evil, to bring great revival and a great winning of souls, into the kingdom.
Yeah, he wrote a book called Rise of Paganism, and by the way, it is New York's #1 seller for the last 2 weeks, New York Times.
No kidding.
Yeah, and it's doing very, very well. And, you know, you and I would think paganism, we go back to ancient times and stuff like that.
Right.
Paganism is anything that replaces God in your life.
Yes.
And how it's even replacing the authenticity of having an gotta get my own words straight here, an authentic relationship with Christ yourself.
Yeah.
What gets in the way of that? Your habits, your conviction or your addictions. I mean, you can go on down the road.
Yeah. Are you grounded in the world?
Well, you know, and we see that problem now with the division over anti-Semitism within the ranks of the right.
Yeah.
So the point is, rise of paganism is really a big thing, and he's doing very, very well with that book. Anyway, I got quite a few things coming up. Christine Drazen will be with me on Focus Today coming up later today. She is now officially running for governor of the state of Oregon. She'll be in the studio with me, so we look forward to talking to her.
I can't wait. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, every November, life on Australia's Christmas Island comes to a crawl, literally.
That's because that's when more than 100 million crimson-colored crabs leave their forest burrows and march toward the sea in one of the planet's most spectacular migrations. Locals know what's coming, and they're ready with rakes, leaf blowers, and patience. The crabs cover roads, driveways, even houses, all in a red-tinted wave of movement. Officials close roads, put up special crab bridges, and some drivers even attach rubber crab plows to gently move them along. It's not chaos, it's cooperation. The crabs are heading to the beaches to lay their eggs, and when the baby crabs return weeks later, islanders help shepherd them safely back across the island, leaf blowers in hand. Most residents say it's more privilege than nuisance, a front row seat to one of nature's greatest parades where patience, compassion, and a few good brooms help keep the magic alive year after year.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
What?
Can you eat those?
I don't know. They're not even the size of an hors d'oeuvre.
Well, but you should see when the reverse happens. After they lay their eggs, you know, when they hatch, now you have millions of these little tiny crabs. They're like this, and they go the other way. And I saw a video of people that are covered in them, that crawl all over people on their face. Yes, yes. So the big question is, as an adult crab anyway, can you eat it? I've gone to a lot of trouble to get crabs into the pot, you know?
Yeah.
And that was an easy way. They're just coming at you.
But they didn't look that big.
Well, I don't know. But, you know, maybe crab hors d'oeuvres.
There you go. I thought the return of the swallows was a fun thing. Yeah. Look at that.
Now, let me ask you this. I wonder, because they crawl over houses, they crawl all over your property. I wonder what property values are like there.
I don't know.
Can you sell?
So, well, you know, but apparently these people are proud of that. So, are there other predators that eat them?
Great question. Other than us, you mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, anyway, that was a great story. Where is that?
Christmas Island, Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, of course.
Well, of course the Aussies.
Yeah, and they don't have snakes, right?
No, that's New Zealand.
New Zealand. Oh, really?
New Zealand doesn't have any snakes.
Does anybody try to? I mean, because New Zealand's not that far from Australia.
No, it's
You
not.
think somebody might have tried to do that little migration thing, huh?
No. Well, listen, New Zealand has some of the strictest agricultural rules in the world.
Really?
If you fly into New Zealand, I've been there many times.
Okay.
If you fly into New Zealand and you have golf shoes in your suitcase, and they got dirt on them, they confiscate it.
Really?
Yeah. They're pretty serious.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and they raise venison over there like we raise cows or beef over here.
All right.
Their forest practice is some of the best in the world, straight as an arrow.
Okay.
And they trim all the branches off except for the top 1/3.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And those trees grow straight as an arrow. And then their forest reforestation programs are really good.
Okay, I'm glad you brought up agriculture inspections. You know, I digress here, but you know, we have that checkpoint down here when we go down into California, right?
Yeah.
And you know, we're used to through the years going through. You stop. They ask you if you have fruits and vegetables. Now you're going through, and they're waving you through. What's the deal? Are they underfunded? What's going on?
Well, they haven't got enough people to do it.
Really?
Yeah. So, that's pretty interesting. You just get waved right on through.
Yeah. And all my fruits and vegetables in the back.
But New Zealand's a different deal.
Have you ever had to give anything up going across a checkpoint going into California?
You know, I think we have in the past. I think the worst one I did was I was moving a horse for my daughter-in-law.
And they made you leave the horse?
Oh, no. Yeah, it's still down there.
What?
No, I had to pull over and have all this permit to bring this horse into California. So,
Really?
And I had it in the back, the trailer. And they came out and they inspected the trailer and everything else. But I've taken a mower down there before, and they checked to see if you didn't clean the mower off. You didn't clean the mower off. They make you scrape it off. But to your point, I haven't been stopped in the last many times that I've been through there lately, so I don't know what the deal is.
Okay, we might have to give them an alert. Here comes Perry.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, take this crab with you. No, here's Psalm 34, verse 8. Taste, there you go. Taste and see that the Lord is good. And blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. A big amen to that. All right, we'll take, let's see, a bittersweet chocolate-covered almond crab bread.
They're fun-loving twins. They love God, hunting, and pranking each other. Join the Hamptons for outdoor adventure every weekend on Twin Factor. Brought to you by Black Flag Armory in Medford and Grants Pass. Truly excellent service.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary sunlit interiors meet old-world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site 24/7 in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Because Christ is in our relationships at home, there should be a new quality to that relationship. It doesn't always happen all at once, but it happens along the way. As we submit ourselves to the Lord, as we should become better husbands and better wives and better parents and more obedient children and better workers and better bosses. Why? Because Christ is in the equation. Christ is everything. The title of this series is Christ Above All. He's more important than anything we've talked about today, to understand that it's all about our relationship with Christ. And here's Paul telling us, you want to honor the Christ that is the center of your life. It's going to affect how you live, how you relate at home, how you relate at work, how you function as parents. Christ is a difference maker.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Focus today. focusing on issues affecting you. Join Perry Atkinson weekdays only on the Dove TV. You're tuned to the Dove, encouraging and informative. Helping Oregon, Northern California, Idaho, and Nevada start the day with news and encouragement. This is Mornings on the Dove.
And good morning to you. Happy Friday. Welcome to Mornings on the Dove. We have so much going on here, we just can't contain ourselves. We'll try.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, good morning to you. Happy Friday. A little bit of a reprieve, but more weather coming. Kind of one of those mixed things where it says it's not supposed to rain, but it's raining.
Well, yeah, I got that this morning. First thing I did was I looked at my weather app and it said, cloudy skies all day long. I thought, cool. I didn't even bring a rain jacket or anything. I got in my car and I drove away and turned on my windshield wipers.
There you go.
How about that?
Well, in front of me is the Operation Christmas Child shoebox. This is that time of the year where people and churches and organizations will be filling these boxes full of goodies for young girls and young boys, various ages, and they'll be shipped somewhere in the world. Now, they get QR codes, and you'll be able to track it when it's all done. But if you are involved in this project, understand that they have to be delivered to the drop-off point the third week of November, which is, the week of Thanksgiving. And in Southern Oregon, Ashland Christian Fellowship, First Baptist Church in Medford, Path Church in Central Point, Trail Christian Fellowship in Eagle Point, Redwood Country Church in Grants Pass, Azalea Church in the community of Azalea. Those are the ones that we know of. So if you live in and around those areas and you're working on one of these boxes, and you can contact them as far as getting a box is concerned. These shoe boxes will go to young girls and boys all over the world through Franklin Graham's Samaritan's Purse. This is an amazing thing.
Yeah, and Grandma
millions and millions and millions of these things.
Yep, Grandma Pam's got a great plan for this.
Yeah, tell us that.
Yeah, she rounded up all the grandbabies and she said, okay, we're going to go out, you're going to shop, and you're going to get items for Samaritan's Purse. You're going to fill up a shoebox for these children that they're going to get sent around the world. But I don't want your parents to give you the money to go and buy the stuff. You're going to put some sweat into this. So you need to do jobs, and she instructed the parents too. You got to have your kids do some jobs for you, and then you pay them for the work they do, and then they'll take that money and we'll buy some items for the kids and fill the boxes, and we'll take it down to Trail Christian Fellowship and we'll get it all shipped out. And so Grandma's got a plan. We're going to have a box stuffing party for the grandbabies.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow. Yo, General Pam.
She's got, Yep.
General Pam.
Got that right. Yeah.
All right, so that's what's going on. What else we got going on?
Well, it is National Fountain Pen Day. Remember fountain pens?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't see them much anymore, but they are timeless and certainly quite functional. Fountain pens have been around for centuries. They continue to be popular among writers, artists, and professionals alike, but I'll stay with a Uniball ballpoint pen. Thank you very much. I like the flow. Do you ever write with a fountain pen?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, it is tricky. I'm not good enough to write with a fountain pen. Plus, there's a little bit of a drag on the tip of a fountain pen that I'm not used to, and it kind of hangs me up as I try to do it. But we grew up in a day and age where pen and pencil sets were a gift item.
I have some.
My grandma and grandpa Holter gave us more than one pen and pencil set, and sometimes that pen and pencil set included a fountain pen.
Yeah.
And I got ink all over myself.
Sure you did. That's what you're supposed to do.
I didn't care if it was the kind that you draw out of the inkwell or if you put and I remember the cartridge as well.
Yeah.
Try take one of those out and keep your fingers clean.
You can't do it.
I know.
It's like trying to unwrap butter without touching it. You can't do it.
That's another good one. Now that you mentioned
you cannot do it.
When are they going to put butter in a tube?
I don't know.
Huh? Like sour cream's in a tube now.
Yeah.
So anyway, boy, we digress, don't we? We're like all over the place. Enjoy your fountain pen. It's also,
I really admire people that use the big wide tip fountain pens that do calligraphy.
Oh yeah,
it's just beautiful.
Right, and I didn't realize until I was starting doing the story that the fountain pen tips come in different sizes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like Uniball. I'll stay with it. Okay. Also, it's National Retinol Day. Check this out. The most popular anti-aging skincare ingredient is retinol. Some of you have it. Some of us need it.
Oh. Okay.
Man, give me some retinol. I didn't even know this anyway.
There's no retinol day.
But I'm concentrating on the good stuff.
Okay.
It left our table.
Oh.
It's National Bittersweet Chocolate with Almonds Day.
I had to put it over there.
Oh, we've been eating it all morning. Thank you, Kathy. We got a plate full of it. What is not to love about chocolate and almonds? And we got a combo too. We got chocolate and we got white chocolate. But you know, you got all of the antioxidants inside of chocolate.
Yes.
You got the great benefits of almonds.
Yes.
This is just win-win.
Oh, yes.
The only trouble is,
what?
Like speaking on air after you start chewing on these things.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a little trouble there.
Yeah, but they're wonderful. So thank you for that. And finally, it's the only thing we have to eat. It's National Jersey Friday. It's the day where you express your fandom. Wear your favorite player's jersey or your favorite team's jersey. Did you know the term jersey comes from the island of Jersey, known for producing high-quality knitted woolen and garments. And the Dallas Cowboys never wear their blue home jerseys because they believe they bring bad luck. Rather, they wear their white athletic apparel for all, and they've been wearing that for every game except one home game since 1971. Now, this is the best one. You know how you see the back of the players' jerseys, they got their name over the number?
Right.
Well, way back in 1976, Andy Messersmith was a member of the Atlanta Braves. He was a pitcher. The Atlanta Braves owned by Ted Turner. So they that year were able to wear their nicknames, not their last name, on the back of their jersey. So he had Messersmith because Messersmith was number 17. So he had Messersmith put the name Channel on top of 17 to promote Turner's Superstation TV channel, Channel 17. So Messersmith, I don't know if he got any compensation for it or what, but everything I read said that Turner made him wear that nickname.
So back to Cowboys not wearing the blues.
Yeah.
Only wearing the white.
Only wearing the whites. Yes.
You know, why are athletes so superstitious?
You know what?
Did you watch the World Series and see what some of those guys were wearing?
Absolutely. Oh, athletes are the most superstitious people I think that walk the planet. If they are on a winning streak and they're wearing a particular sock or whatever it is, or they don't shave it, they don't wash it. They just keep it. Right. Absolutely. And do you see one of them when they're on a hitting streak and they break a bat? It's like they lost their mother. It's amazing.
You know, I've seen it in tennis too, where some of these have such incredible rituals that they go through. I'm just curious, I guess, you know, but some of the things they wear, some of the things they do, the signals that they make, the signs that they do, it's more than just somebody doing the cross. I mean, you know.
Yes. Yes.
It's really amazing. So
right. And now, yeah, you know
what?
So
they don't wear the blue jerseys, only the white.
Only the white, because it's bad luck.
Oh, jeez. Well, blue can be a little dangerous.
Yes. Enjoy your team, enjoy your favorite player, and wear your jersey with pride today.
All right. Well, okay. So much for that. Here's a guy that is so superstitious that it comes out right.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, rain likely mainly after 10 a.m. with daytime highs in the mid-50s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with a light southwest wind. Continuing down the Willamette Valley, rain likely, then gradual clearing to partly sunny for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs near 57. A chance of rain, then mostly sunny in Eugene with a high near 59. In central Oregon, mostly sunny in Prineville with a high near 54, a chance of rain in near 50 in Bend, a chance of rain and snow in near 47 in Sun River, and a chance of showers in Boise, Idaho, then mostly sunny in 56. A chance of showers with patchy fog along the Oregon coast, otherwise mostly sunny in mid-60s for Coos Bay and Port Orford and 56 in Brookings, a chance of showers and mostly sunny in near 60 in Crescent City. In southern Oregon, a chance of showers and mostly sunny for the Rogue Valley with highs near 60 in Grants Pass, 58 in Medford, and 53 in Ashland. A slight chance of showers and partly sunny and 53 in Klamath Falls. Into Northern California, a chance of rain in upper 50s in Wairika. A slight chance of showers in Redding, then mostly sunny in mid-60s. Decreasing clouds becoming sunny in near 67 in Chico and 70 in Sacramento. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then mostly sunny and near 70 in Santa Rosa. Decreasing clouds with a high near 69 in Napa. Partly sunny in San Francisco with a high near 68 and decreasing clouds and 72 in San Jose. It's a snapshot of your Friday weather from Grange Co-op.
All right, beautiful shot of Mount Bachelor this morning. Boy, it's kind of pretty. A little kind of a hilltop fog moving through. You can see the sunshine above that. Snow on the ground.
A lot of snow on the ground, but not enough. But it'll come.
You see all those things poking up?
Yeah.
They break legs.
Avoid those,
let you know.
Avoid those things.
You see where you're supposed to ski. See up there?
Yes.
You're supposed to ski up
where
there.
you're supposed to ski. But you know, not all of us do that.
I noticed that. So if you're down where the trees are, that's where it's.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
One of the tough things about the open house the other day was, talking to folks, and they were asking genuine interest about the. And then the question kept coming up: were you skiing alone?
Yeah.
And then, why?
Yeah, why?
Why?
Yeah, Peggy mentioned yesterday that she had a lot of people who wanted to open up the refrigerator to see your supply of hot sauce.
Hey, that's private.
That's private.
Come on, man.
That's in another refrigerator.
All right. Hey, when you get in your car, are you driving looking out the windshield, or are you concentrating on your rear view mirror?
It's a combination.
Well, it could be a dangerous thing the more you look back. Well, with that in mind, here's Billy Graham, and he encourages us not to look back, but instead live for Jesus today.
If I would find some real believers in Sodom, if I found 50 righteous men, would you spare it? And God said yes. He couldn't find 50. So he said to the Lord, all right, Lord, what about if I found 40? Then after a while he said 30, then 20. Finally he said, if I find 10, Lord, would you spare them? And God said, yes, if you find 10 righteous people in Sodom, I'll spare Sodom. But he couldn't find them. And that is a lesson to us, the importance of a dedicated minority. A minority of people who believe and who live it. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah, says Isaiah 1:9. To you Christians, Jesus gave a warning. He said, remember Lot's wife? The angels told you not to look back. If you did look back, you'd be turned to a pillar of salt. Well, she did look back. And she was turned to a pillar of salt. And Jesus said, remember Lot's wife. That's an example for us today. Remember Lot's wife, one of the shortest verses in all the Bible. Don't look back. Many of us look longingly at the world, and many are like Demas, having forsaken Christ because of the love of this present world.
Forget about that story.
Yeah.
Don't look back.
Don't look back.
Okay, well, let's look forward to some of the top stories this morning. And last night they had the Fox Nations Patriots Award last night, which is kind of interesting. And, of course, everybody wants to know the big award, the Patriot of the Year. And the award goes to, listen to this.
Risk and reinvention aren't optional. They're obligations. Be relentless in experimentation. Never stop trying new things. Keep pushing yourself to grow, both intellectually and personally. Embrace practice, oppositions. Open your mind, then change the world through your talent and hard work. We talk a lot about the greater good. The truth is, the greater good is built by the few who dare to think differently. It's the designer who imagines beauty where others see data. It's the engineer who stays up all night refining an algorithm that reshapes an entire industry. Those who produce give. They create employment, tools, knowledge, and eventually cities. And from their creation, the common good rises, naturally, beautifully, inevitably. So America, tonight, let's make a personal pledge to celebrate ambition and scale imagination to create a more advanced and prosperous society. Individual productivity is not selfish. It's the heartbeat of civilization. Thank you.
Well, she was awarded the Patriot of the Year award, which is really, really interesting. And we didn't know that she's quite the advocate behind the scenes. But apparently she's had multiple conversations with President Putin on releasing children that were taken captive during the war and getting them back home to their parents and their family in Ukraine.
This is amazing when you think about it. What's the protocol involved in the First Lady of the United States calling? You know, what number do you call?
Well,
to get Putin.
Obviously, her husband has a cell phone.
Well, I bet he's got the number, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh,
Vladimir? Melania wants to talk to you. Now, I want to know, what language do they speak?
Well, there you go. Who knows?
Yeah, I wonder, because she speaks like 6 languages.
She does.
We know that Putin, usually speaks in Russian, but we know he's very fluent in English.
Yes.
But I don't know what else he knows. He's an ex-KGB guy. He knows a lot of stuff.
Well, who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations. And finally, she's on somebody's magazine, or front cover, I should say.
Whose?
Well, she's on Fox's.
Fox's, okay. Yeah. Certainly not Vogue or Town and Country or anything like that.
All right, the other story is kind of interesting. At what point is enough? The stockholders of Tesla shareholders yesterday took a little bit of a vote. 75% voted in favor of giving Elon Musk a raise. He's the first guy and CEO in the world to receive $1 trillion.
Wow.
In a combination of stock options to receive up to 12% more of Tesla stock and cash.
Okay, let me ask you this. You said that 75% of the board voted for this compensation package. Is there going to be a 25% purge on that board? What's going to happen to the 25%?
I don't know, but you know what I think Tesla recognizes? What would happen to Tesla if Musk wasn't there?
Oh, yeah. True. There would be no Tesla.
There would be no Tesla.
Right, exactly.
So this is called insurance policy. We might as well just do it in a salary, Anyway, he's the first designated trillionaire in the world.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. All right. This one is kind of interesting. Today the Supreme Court is scheduled to hold private conference to consider whether it will hear a challenge to its landmark 2015 ruling on same-sex marriages.
Which basically made same-sex marriages legal, right?
That made it legal.
Right.
So apparently, as a general practice, the Supreme Court does not grant review without considering a case in at least 2 consecutive conferences, according to the Supreme Court of the United States blog. And this will be the first conference in which Davis' challenge will be discussed. He's the one that has brought this back. And from what I understand, and I haven't, of course, LBGTQ, RSP, whatever those numbers are, or letters are, they're obviously up in arms over this.
Oh, I bet.
But the argument is, wait a minute, there's only 2 genders. So this thing could be landmark in another way.
Now I want to know, because they decided that same-sex marriage will happen in this country, and they're revisiting. Are they revisiting this on the principle of whether same-sex marriage can occur, or a legal technicality that was in that last ruling? Because oftentimes that's what we find in these reviews, is something they may not have had all the I's dotted and T's crossed.
It could be.
So I don't know. I'm just wondering out loud.
It could be. There's other statistics that are interesting, and that is same-sex marriages have a significantly high failure rate. Okay, and so does that set up countersuits and lawsuits and divorce cases and all this stuff? So bottom line is the court is giving consideration of hearing it again, which is in itself
Yeah.
Pretty
Well, I'm
hysterical.
glad they got extra security for the
Yeah.
Supreme Court.
There you go.
Yeah.
This last story is also very interesting. Another federal judge, this one is out of Rhode Island, ordered the Trump administration to find money by today to fully fund SNAP benefits for November. Where's he supposed to go to find it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
And if he takes it from another agency, can you imagine what that's going to do?
Right, right. And, it's amazing. I think this administration has seen a rise in judicial activism. Should we call it that? I mean, we didn't realize the judiciary was so powerful, did we?
Well, where does he go to do this? I mean, what he has to do is open up the government and fund it. But can he reach in and just arbitrarily take money out of the government and fund a program?
I heard it referenced that there's some kind of an emergency fund that they say he has access to, kind of like here in Oregon, that we didn't touch for the transportation issue. So I don't know. I'm a little bit in the dark on this one.
All right, so while he's in there, let's say he gets into the room where all the emergency money is.
Okay.
Can he grab a few extra billion and pay the air traffic controllers? Can he pay the military?
Yeah.
And at this point, you just upside down the government shutdown.
Right. Now, that's interesting because now they
so
want
Mr.
him to,
President, while you're in while you're in that big vault in there getting the
dipping in for welfare benefits, which is but working people who are working and they are currently working with no salary. Well, we'll get to them later.
Okay.
That's interesting.
All right. Well, we're going to take a snap break.
Okay.
Yeah.
When plumbing emergencies hit, and they do, you want help from a plumber you can trust, and you need it now. Onnit Plumbing to the rescue. Onnit Plumbing gets the job done right with integrity and quality craftsmanship. Onnit Plumbing offers military discounts, senior discounts, and discounts for KDOVE listeners too. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Onnit Plumbing, CCB 229-436. No job too big or small. Onnit Plumbing does them all. See us at onnitplumbing.net. onnitplumbing.net.
Welcome to Rise Direct Primary Care. Imagine a healthcare experience where you're known by name, cared for like family, and treated with compassion. How is that possible? With an affordable, flat monthly membership, you receive unlimited primary care and minor urgent care visits. No insurance needed. At Rise Direct Primary Care, we offer a friendly, affordable healthcare experience where you get a whole hour with your provider. Located in Central Medford and accessible by phone or text, we can typically get you in the same or next day. We prescribe urgent care medications directly from our office, saving you a trip and wait time at the pharmacy when you'd rather be at home getting better. Personalized medical care with a human touch. Rise Direct Primary Care is all about healing the sick with compassion and keeping the healthy healthy. Rise Direct Primary Care. We're here for you. Visit risehealthdpc.com or call or text us 541-827-8603. 541-827-8603.
Okay, welcome back. Happy Friday to you. If you're going to do some traveling, well, a little bit of an interesting thing. Travelers at the Portland International Airport and the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, you're being advised to call ahead to make sure your flight is on schedule or will even happen, as the Transportation Secretary across the United States is calling on Federal Aviation Administration to cut flights at 40 of the high-volume airports by 10%. So it's impacting the West Coast. L.A., San Francisco, Portland, and Seattle are all on this list of a 10% reduction. So we'll see what happens. You asked earlier about smaller airports.
Yeah.
And apparently you can get out of a smaller airport, but you may get stuck in a big one if you're going to go there to change flights. And so you've got to really kind of think this thing through.
Wow.
you know.
Okay.
All because of the government shutdown. So part of that story today is Grady Trimble, as he was on Stuart Varney there on Fox Business talking about this. And they don't like doing this, but they're trying to keep safety first. But you got to remember that the air traffic controllers now are going into their second and third week unpaid. God bless them that they're there.
Yeah.
But you know, how do you stay true when your employer doesn't pay you?
Yeah. How do you get to work when you can't pay your bills and they come take your car?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So anyway, here's what they had to say there on Fox Business.
Stu, probably several thousand flights will be canceled, and that would impact several hundreds of thousands of passengers. And to answer your second question, here's a map. This is preliminary, and it could change, but I mean, take a look. This is impacting just about every major airport in the country. If it's a big city, it's probably going to deal with these cuts. The FAA will direct airlines to cut 4% of flights on Friday, tomorrow, and then that 4% will increase by 1% each day until it hits 10% next week. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says air traffic controllers have been calling out because they're not getting paid during the shutdown, and that's putting pressure on the system. Duffy says this was a proactive, data-driven decision, and this unprecedented step is the best way to keep flying safe.
We had to have a gut check of what is our job. Is it to make sure there's, you know, minimal delays or minimal cancellations, or is our job to make sure we make the hard decisions to continue to keep the airspace safe? That is our job, is safety.
I'm not aware in my 35-year history in the aviation market where we've had a situation where we're taking these kind of measures. Then again, we're in new territory in terms of government shutdowns.
Well, there you go. So call ahead.
Well, the sad thing is I saw a report that the Democrats gathered yesterday, and they have a consensus that the more pain that is being felt by the American people, the better off they think they are.
Well, I don't know.
That's crazy.
So
and
they're using pain to gain power instead of doing what is right for the people.
Is this in conjunction with the interpretation of what's going on from the legacy media?
Yeah, I guess it's all
Yeah, because basically the more pain that is felt by the American people allows them to point their finger and say this pain is coming from Republicans, and they're getting away with it.
Well, are they?
I don't know. Well, I don't know.
Are they? I mean, where are the breaking points? I mean, I think what happened is that the Democrats are pretty fueled up right now because they have what they call now the Blue Coalition.
Right. And they're pretty...
Governor Newsom said they went from their heels to their toes.
Right. They're giddy from their wins. By the way, notice that all the wins came in blue states.
Well, see, that's
there was nothing new there.
No.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know. You know, I'll say this. Most people are saying that the blue wins are anti-Trump victories.
And I think that's probably right on the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at Wall Street for a Friday morning. Let's see what's happening. Thank you, Preston, there at Smart Lawn. Yeah. The Dow's down 96 points. The Nas is off 230. And the S&P down 37. This could be all over the tariff trials.
I was going to say, is this Supreme Court looking at tariffs right now?
Could be.
All right.
Gold's up but down 39.96. Silver's at 48. And crude oil is 63.69. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little nervous. In fact, I have Professor... hold on. I'll get it anyway. He's a smart guy. Murray Sabrin will be with us. Dr. Sabrin will be with me. We'll talk a little bit about the tariff. He thinks, two people I've interviewed think that President Trump loses this.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Alan Dershowitz says, a tariff is a tariff and a tax is a tax. A tariff is not a tax.
Right.
The argument against that is a tariff is a tax, and therefore it has to be regulated by Congress. So I don't know. That's why you go to court.
And I saw that it is being argued in front of the Supreme Court by the Trump lawyers that he is not using the tariffs as a method of raising money as it would be in a tax. He's using this to get foreign nations to comply with some of the rules, and especially when it comes to drugs and fentanyl and stuff like this. Yeah. He's trying to change behavior of these foreign nations rather than tax them and take the money. The people that were talking about this pointed out the trouble with this is that the president has spoken many times that this is a good thing for the monetary policy of the United States because we're getting rich on it. So his public statements don't really back up the arguments that they're doing.
And even Alan Dershowitz said that, basically said he thinks he's arguing, well, let me put it this way. He said he should include the other part of the argument in his defense, but to take just the bargaining chip part of it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine with the, listening to some of the oral arguments, I would say the justices were a little ticked off.
They sounded like it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, they did. All right. Well, speaking of controversy, how about Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes? The famous interview.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just rumbling still today. Well, on Newsmax's American Agenda, Alan Dershowitz responded to this clip of Heritage Foundation's President Kevin Roberts reacting to pushback of his defense of Tucker Carlson's Nick Fuentes interview.
I made a mistake, and I let you down, and I let down this institution, and I am sorry for that. Period. Full stop.
We also could have just said nothing at all. Instead, we managed to scrape together an initial response that, at best, was equal parts incoherent, unhelpful, and naive. At worst, as others have referenced, it was more akin to a masterclass in cowardice that ran cover for the most unhinged dregs of the far right.
Well, this is a great conflict within the conservative movement, reminiscent of what happened when Bill Buckley, the great conservative, took on the racist anti-Semite Pat Buchanan and said that what Pat Buchanan has done and said, essentially denying the Holocaust, amounts to anti-Semitism. It can't be justified. So that, back some years ago, the good guys won. Buchanan lost. He was really taken out of the center of conservative politics, and Bill Buckley won. Now we're seeing the same fight being fought in the conservative movement at the Heritage Foundation. The irony is that when you go online and you read about Nazi propaganda saying Jews control the media, among the people they're alleged to control are the Heritage Foundation. They always say the Jews control all the media. Look how much influence they have in the Heritage Foundation. And now we see the Heritage Foundation refuses essentially to condemn the anti-Semitism of their friends. You can say some of my best friends are Jews. He's basically saying some of my best friends are anti-Semites. Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes and people like that.
Wow. Yeah. So Roberts turns around and apologizes. I still think he goes.
I was going to say, is that too little too late?
Well, look, was that a sincere apology? I mean, that's an angry apology.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there's no contrition there.
Oh, yeah.
At least that's how I interpret it. Okay, I don't know the whole thing, but it didn't seem there's any contrition there, so it sounds like it's an anger. And the person who was questioning him back, why'd you say it in the first place? Great question.
Yeah, good comeback, yes.
That is the question.
Yes.
So I don't know. I can't see how he stays.
I don't either.
I don't know either, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But it's sad, of all places to get in turmoil. Heritage Foundation?
Heritage, yeah.
That's like you telling your mom, we'll be right back.
The Lennox iComfort S30 thermostat can sense changes in your environment. It even knows when you come and go. So now your home's most important system is also the smartest.
Metal Masters can give you the smartest home comfort system available. It knows when you're away and adjusts when allergens and humidity get uncomfortable. Trust Metal Masters to provide perfect air for your family.
Lennox. Air is life. Make it perfect.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Now notice when Jesus called his disciples, he never hid from them the fact that to follow him meant suffering persecution, and death. We have a great deal of what someone has called cheap grace. Easy to follow Christ. Easy to get in the church. In Jesus' day, he called them to suffering. He didn't call them to a playground. He called them to a battlefield. He called them to war, spiritual war. And he said, you're going to suffer, and you're going to be wounded, and you're going to die in my cause, because the world is going to reject me. This world that's dominated by evil and sin will reject me.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Buying or selling a home can be stressful. It's one of the biggest decisions you'll make in your lifetime. That's why it's important to work with someone you trust, someone who has the right experience and knowledge of the market.
Hi, we're Patrick and Paulina Leiser with Leiser Real Estate Group.
And whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, our mission is to take the stress out of the transaction and make it as seamless and rewarding as possible.
Contact us today. We look forward to working with you.
Y'all doing out there? 25 minutes before the hour. Well, just about the time you think things are settling down in the Middle East, they break out in another direction. So it looks like Israel's now launching attacks again against Hezbollah to the north and Lebanon. So let's check in with CBN News Watch and get caught up.
This is CBN News Watch.
Thank you so much for joining us for CBN News Watch on this Friday, November 7th. I'm Ephraim Graham. We're going to begin this half hour with news from the Middle East. Israel launched its largest attack on Hezbollah's infrastructure in southern Lebanon. It happened Thursday, and it's the largest since the 2024 ceasefire. As Chris Mitchell now reports from Jerusalem, the escalation signals Israel's determination to prevent the Iranian-backed terror group from rebuilding its arsenal of weapons.
The Israel Defense Forces say they've completed a series of strikes on Hezbollah infrastructure and weapons facilities in southern Lebanon. The IDF says Hezbollah is working to reestablish its terrorist infrastructure and poses a clear and present danger to the state of Israel. Before the strikes, the IDF issued an evacuation warning in order to prevent civilian casualties since the weapon facilities are in the middle of populated areas. A Knesset briefing reportedly warns that Hezbollah, with help from Iran, is rebuilding its military strength faster than Israeli strikes can stop it. The impacts of Israel's 2023-2024 military campaign are fading, and that Hezbollah continues to smuggle in weapons through Syria and by sea, and is also producing its own arms. The IDF says the attacks are just a preview of what's to come if the Lebanese army doesn't fully disarm Hezbollah. On Thursday, Lebanese President Joseph Aoun condemned the bombings, but said that negotiations are the only way to end the nearly daily Israeli attacks on his country. The U.S. is pressuring the Lebanese government to disarm Hezbollah, but in an open letter, Hezbollah says it will resist any attempts to disarm it and warns Beirut against negotiations with the, quote, Zionist enemy. Meanwhile, the IDF released documents that chronicle the incestuous relationship between Hamas and UNRWA, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency. The IDF uncovered details of Hamas operatives employed by UNRWA and documents revealing Hamas's use of UNRWA, just the latest evidence of how the UN group and Hamas have worked hand in hand. But amid the concerns about terrorism, there was also some hopeful news. President Trump announcing on Truth Social that Kazakhstan would be joining the Abraham Accords. The president posting, Kazakhstan is the first country of my second term to join the Abraham Accords, the first of many. Blessed are the peacemakers.
And Chris Mitchell continues our coverage now with us. So, Chris, Kazakhstan is now in the Abraham Accords, as you reported. What nation might be next?
Well, President Trump, in a speech last night, he made a big hint that it might be Saudi Arabia, might be the next place, the next country into the Abraham Accords. He said that at an event with in the presence of the Saudi ambassador to the U.S., One obstacle for Saudi Arabia joining the Abraham Accords, Ephraim, would be the recognition of a two-state solution. It seems like Saudi Arabia wants some, at least language, that there would be a Palestinian state, perhaps with the Palestinian Authority. That's what Saudi Arabia wants, but Israel does not want the Palestinian Authority to play a part in any two-state solution, and they don't want a two-state solution by any means, especially after October 7th. So there may have to be some sort of compromise, perhaps on both Saudi Arabia and Israel, to open the door and to make that possible. But that's probably the biggest nation right now that would be on the eve of maybe joining the Abraham Accords.
Chris, how serious is the situation in the north?
Well, very serious, and some people think that it might be there might be a prelude to actually the IDF going into southern Lebanon in a major way. Right now, they actually have 5 separate spots within southern Lebanon that they are holding, and they have held since the ceasefire from November of 2024. So that's an expectation. There might be a ground incursion by the IDF to actually go ahead and dismantle Hezbollah. It's a difficult situation for the Lebanese government. There are some elements of the government that want to disarm Hezbollah. But it's not clear they either have the ability or, to some extent, the political will to go ahead and disarm Hezbollah. It's not easy. The Lebanese army doesn't either seem to be willing or capable of disarming Hezbollah. And one Lebanese Christian member of parliament said that Hezbollah right now is insisting on dragging the country into another war. He says that's unacceptable for a minority like Hezbollah to really hold the rest of the country hostage. But Israeli officials are warning what might happen if Hezbollah does not disarm.
Gosh, here we are, right back where we started.
Yeah.
And then they'll be dealing with Syria. Then now you got Hezbollah again. And then do the Houthis pop up over again in Yemen. This is just crazy.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Saudi Arabia joins the accord. All right, let's check out the weather with the guy who's always won an accord with Pam.
A look at our weather from Grange Co-op. Today in northern Oregon and southern Washington, rain likely mainly after 10 a.m. with daytime highs in the mid-50s for Vancouver, Portland, Wilsonville, and McMinnville with a light southwest wind. Continuing down the Willamette Valley, rain likely, then gradual clearing to partly sunny for Salem, Albany, and Corvallis with highs near 57. A chance of rain, then mostly sunny in Eugene with a high near 59. In central Oregon, mostly sunny in Prineville with a high near 54. A chance of rain in near 50 in Bend. A chance of rain and snow in near 47 in Sun River. And a chance of showers in Boise, Idaho, then mostly sunny in 56. A chance of showers with patchy fog along the Oregon coast, otherwise mostly sunny in mid-60s for Coos Bay and Port Orford and 56 in Brookings. A chance of showers then mostly sunny in near 60 in Crescent City. In southern Oregon, a chance of showers and mostly sunny for the Rogue Valley with highs near 60 in Grants Pass, 58 in Medford, and 53 in Ashland. A slight chance of showers and partly sunny and 53 in Klamath Falls. Into Northern California, a chance of rain in upper 50s in Wairika. A slight chance of showers in Redding, then mostly sunny in mid-60s. Decreasing clouds becoming sunny in near 67 in Chico and 70 in Sacramento. In the Bay Area, patchy fog, then mostly sunny and near 70 in Santa Rosa. Decreasing clouds with a high near 69 in Napa. Partly sunny in San Francisco with a high near 68 and decreasing clouds and 72 in San Jose. It's a snapshot of your Friday weather from Grange Co-op.
Look at that. Mount Bachelor. And really a beautiful shot.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you got a little fog at the top of the mountain, got some fresh snow and on the ground and stuck in the trees. So there you go.
Yeah, pretty good amount of snow. Not quite enough, but previews of coming attractions, I would say. Yeah. Well, he is gone, but certainly not forgotten. And he was born on this day in history.
He was called America's pastor, and his words reached every corner of the world. On November 17, 1918, Billy Graham was born in Charlotte, North Carolina. Over his lifetime, he became one of the most influential Christian leaders in modern history, preaching to more than 200 million people in person and hundreds of millions more through his televised crusades. Known for his powerful but humble style, Graham served as a spiritual advisor to 12 U.S. presidents, from Truman to Obama, and became a unifying voice of faith during times of war, civil unrest, and national tragedy. He passed away in 2018 at the age of 99, leaving behind a legacy built not on fame or fortune, but on faith, hope, and the belief that one person's message of hope in God can truly reach the world.
Did.
Wow.
He did it.
Well, and even to this day,
yes,
his children's message is as clear as his. It's
right.
A simple message.
And the Billy Graham classics, the messages, again, are timeless.
Oh,
yep.
They're wonderful.
Yep.
Well, listen, from the, quote, official dog pack. I didn't know there was such a thing. The official dog pack, okay? They're now coming up with Pawcast.
Okay.
Okay. Pawcast?
Yeah.
Okay. So Goldie and Frenchie talk about why they love sleeping with their humans over their fancy dog beds. Here it is.
You ever notice how humans buy us these fancy beds? And somehow we still end up in theirs.
Yeah. Orthopedic memory foam, bamboo cover, cooling gel, all that nonsense. And yet here I am taking up half the pillow like rents do.
Truth is,
when we curl up beside them, something happens. Their heart slows.
Their breathing matches ours. Their stress melts away. It's that oxytocin thing, the love hormone. Same one that bonds moms to their babies. Guess we're the babies and the protectors. We don't sleep next to them because we have to. We do it because that's where we feel safe. That's our pack, our family. When we press our paws against them in the dark, we're saying, I trust you. You're my world. And they trust us right back, even when we snore, kick, or steal the covers. We've been doing this for thousands of years, keeping each other warm, guarding each other's dreams. So yeah, we have our own beds. Yeah, but we choose theirs because home isn't a place on the floor. It's the space between heartbeats. And that's where we'll always sleep.
They're doing a lot of cool things with AI these days, aren't they? Oh, my God. And a podcast. P-A-W-E-D.
Yeah.
Pod.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, so somewhere down the road, we got to play those ones where they take these kids.
Oh, yes.
They're AI kids.
The little Trump. And
they turn them into adults and they talk. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, we'll take a paw break. We'll be right back.
I can't change who I was is dead and gone. Who I am is moving on. Saved by grace, held by love, because of what your cross has done.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Welcome home to the Dove, an encouraging place, an informative place, a safe network for your entire family, offering hope.
Welcome home.
The Dove's mission is to be a beacon of truth, providing authentic faith-based content to those seeking Christ and those faithful, from a who's who of respected Christian teachers.
Welcome home to the Dove.
The Dove Network, broadcasting and streaming reliable, trustworthy news, information, and talk. Featuring Mornings on the Dove, Focus Today, CBN News, and other current affairs programming to stay connected. The Dove Network, a trusted friend, enriching your faith with reliable, inspiring content and spiritual resources that will change your life forever.
Welcome home to the Dove TV, radio, and the Dove.us.
The Dove, encouraging and informative. You are welcome here.
When plumbing emergencies hit, and they do, you want help from a plumber you can trust, and you need it now. Onnit Plumbing to the rescue. Onnit Plumbing gets the job done right with integrity and quality craftsmanship. Onnit Plumbing offers military discounts, senior discounts, and discounts for KDOV listeners too. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Onnit Plumbing, CCB 229436. No job too big or small. Onnit Plumbing does them all. See us at onnitplumbing.net. onnitplumbing.net.
Good morning. Welcome back. Recently I had Lucas Miles on. Lucas now is taking a lead position in Turning Point America with the passing of Charlie Kirk. Mm-hmm. He and Charlie were very close friends. Mm-hmm. And so he's doing a lot there. I think he's head of the evangelistic outreach division there. Anyway, he wrote a book that ended up being, the last 2 weeks, the #1 bestseller in the New York Times. It's called The Pagan Threat. And I asked him, how can someone resist paganism if they don't know what it is? Here's what he had to say.
So basically, on a broad stroke level, paganism is the worship or the searching for divine or divinity or the deity or some sort of enlightenment in anything other than the God of the Bible. More classically, we think of paganism in things like the occult or witchcraft or the worship of, Greek gods or Nordic gods or something like that. We have things like shamanism, and Wicca, earth worship. We see those are probably more classical views of paganism. G.K. Chesterton, wrote in the early 1900s that paganism was dead. I think that C.S. Lewis would have affirmed that. But what we've seen is that it's really revitalized. There's been this intentional reviving of paganism. What I'd say in the book is that this is not just an organic revival like what we saw after the assassination of Charlie Kirk in the church, where people just organically, moved by the Spirit of God, showed up to church the next week. But this is a bought and paid for revival, where networks and cartoons and movie scripts and news stations and all these things, authors are kind of working in concert together to push an agenda on the American people in order to be able to kind of demoralize society, to get us to the point to where we will start embracing Marxist talking points and Marxist ideologies. And I don't think that as long as Christianity remains an anchor in this nation, Marxism cannot be accepted because they're antithetical to one another. But if you can supplant Christianity and push it aside, now all of a sudden this Marxist worldview, starts to look more attractive, and the moral rigidity of Judaism or Christianity are not in the way that prevent us from being able to accept some of the painting outside of the lines that Marxism offers.
Yeah, I think he pins it down pretty good. You may want to get a copy of the book. It's called The Pagan Threat. Right now, it's the best New York Times bestseller.
Now, you said he's basically kind of stepped into the Charlie Kirk's position.
Well, not his position. So he was already in Turning Point, and he and Charlie worked together, and they were partners in a lot of the outreaches, but now he's like executive vice president of outreach or something like that. So he's high up in the organization and doing a great job. And he said that the inflow and the influx of interest of people and chapters is just through the roof. They literally can't handle it.
That was my next question, because we saw that initially after Charlie Kirk's death.
Right.
And that continues then.
Yeah, they said, look, that at all levels, high school, junior high school, college, Turning Point chapters. This is something I don't think this is a flash in the pan.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This has got something else going to it.
Yep.
Yeah, so pray that the Lord will not only use it and bless it, but protect them, obviously.
Amen. Yep. All right. Well, every November, life on Australia's Christmas Island comes to a crawl, and that's a literal crawl. Check this out. That's because that's when more than 100 million crimson-colored crabs leave their forest burrows and march toward the sea in one of the planet's most spectacular migrations. Locals know what's coming, and they're ready with rakes, leaf blowers, and patience. The crabs cover roads, driveways, even houses, all in a red-tinted wave of movement. Officials close roads, put up special crab bridges, and some drivers even attach rubber crab plows to gently move them along. It's not chaos, it's cooperation. The crabs are heading to the beaches to lay their eggs, and when the baby crabs return weeks later, islanders help shepherd them safely back across the island, leaf blowers in hand. Most residents say it's more privilege than nuisance, a front row seat to one of nature's greatest parades where patience, compassion, and a few good brooms help keep the magic alive year after year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a bunch of crabs. Not just a bunch of crabs. There are over 40 million crabs that make that journey.
Wow.
Over houses and yards and streets and brushing it away from the cars. And did you see there was a crab bridge?
Yeah.
How do you get crabs onto the bridge?
You're crabby.
You're crabby.
So, do they smell?
I don't know. That's a good question, and it brings up the other question: can you eat them?
Well, yeah.
Because
that's very big though.
That's an easy crab to harvest right there.
Yeah.
That's cool. Just get a basket and start picking them up.
So it happens just during this month.
Yeah, November. Yeah, it happens. And then after it's funny, after the eggs hatch, then you have all these millions of baby crabs. They're teeny tiny, and they're going in reverse. They're going the other way from these. And I saw video of that. I wish they had the month for that. I'll have to return that because there's video of them crawling, literally moving over people.
No.
Would you let that happen?
No.
Oh, no.
Okay, coming up, Jim Dorner. We'll check in with him in just a moment. He's a Republican strategist right there in the pit in Washington, D.C.
In the pit. Yes.
We'll ask him what's going on with the government still shut down and the Supreme Court talking about tariffs, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, he's kind of an insider there. We'll talk to him. Murray Sabrin will be by to talk about are tariffs tax or tariffs or tariffs a tariff?
Or is it behavioral modification?
Oh, there we go.
Huh?
We'll go with behavioral modification.
Yeah.
And then Christine Drazen will be with us. She's an Oregon State Senator, formerly a minority leader in the House. She now, through circumstances, sits on the Senate side. And she is now running for governor again. We'll talk to her about that. Is it time for Oregon to have a Republican governor?
Yes.
Okay. You know, is Oregon like California blue no matter what? Or are we hitting a wall here?
Well, that's going to be interesting to see, isn't it?
Are we going to reelect Tina Kotek on the heels of a $4.3 trillion tax bill? So we'll talk to her about that. That's all coming up in a few moments. All right. Psalm 34, verse 8 on this Friday. Taste and see that the Lord is good, and blessed is the one who takes refuge in him. You know, if you're not sure, ask the Lord today to show himself to you. Okay? And then be surprised when it happens.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegateRV.com. Black Flag Armory offers top brand affordable rifles, shotguns, handguns, and gear. We also offer an array of classes emphasizing safety, self-defense, and accuracy. We strive to provide the absolute best possible experience when buying a firearm. Family friendly for every skill level. Black Flag Armory in Midford and Grants Pass. Online at blackflagarms.com or 541-499-0779. 541-499-0779.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
Jesus says this in John 15, verses 8 and 16. You bring glory to my Father. You want to bring glory to Father? Here's how you do it. You bring glory to my Father, and you show you're my disciples. You want to prove you're really a follower of Christ? You show you're my disciples by bearing much fruit. Notice that word, much fruit. God wants a big family. He says, I chose you and I've called you to bear fruit, fruit that will last. Now, I want you to notice from that verse, Jesus says, God expects me and he expects you and he expects this church to bear much fruit. So that's what we're going to believe God for. Now, even more important is that God promises and God guarantees your fruitfulness in life if you follow certain instructions.
A ministry moment on the Dove.
I was scared to ask for help because I thought if I were to tell anybody the things that I see and hear and the thoughts that I have in my head, they would lock me up. It was just like I was at the front lines of hell with all of the demons that were just trying to pull me back so hard. And I just said, Jesus. I just fell to the floor and I just started crying, sobbing, and I'm like, please help me, please help me.
Monday on the 700 Club, right here on the Dove TV. Important topics, in-depth conversation. Focus Today, weekdays only on the Dove TV, encouraging and informative.
Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. And of course, here we are just a few days away from a significant win in some states and issues and measures, from a mayor to a couple of governors to a ballot measure in California. All went blue, left. And so what impact does that have? The government now is well into a historic time of being shut down. The president was ordered to find money and pay for the SNAP benefits. It's time for us to check in with Mr. Jim Dornan. He's been in this game a long time. He has the dirty T-shirts, the scars, and the stitches to prove it. He's a Republican strategist. Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm well, Perry. I'm working on my crab pit.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, I want Maryland blue crabs.
There you go. Hey, all right, so where do we go from here? What's the atmosphere in D.C. after the blue wins across the country?
I think everyone's trying to catch their breath. I mean, on the one hand, we've got the shutdown still going on. Now it's a record. Now it overtook the last shutdown's record of time passed. And the results from Tuesday, frankly, are I think caught a bunch of people off guard. But it is what it is. And now they're kind of just taking their breath and trying to figure out how those election results are going to affect how they should vote on keeping the shutdown going or fixing it.
Is the blue win really a surprise in blue areas that are deeply blue?
Well, and that's Trump's argument, and I get that. That's correct. Virginia, I would call more purple. New Jersey, absolutely blue. Although Citarelli came very close at one point, about a week or two out. Ironically, when Trump went all in on New Jersey, that's when Citarelli wound up losing by double digits. So I don't know if that's just New Jersey or if that's significant nationwide. And I think that's what everybody's looking at numbers-wise. I was absolutely shocked that the Virginia vote went for the attorney general candidate who threatened to kill the speaker with 2 bullets to his head. And the fact that guy still won, I think, is worth looking at and trying to figure out what the heck happened there.
The other thing is, Mamdani in New York, when you really look at it, it's certainly not a mandate. He wins by 8 points. I mean, that's not a big margin. So New York is clearly divided, right?
No question. And Cuomo, it was incredibly damaged with all the sexual harassment charges. So he was probably not the right guy. Obviously, Sliwa and Adams, the current mayor, weren't the right people either. And frankly, Mamdani ran a darn good race. I mean, he utilized social media extensively. His message was directed at the young, where there are a ton in New York City trying to make themselves. And they want, frankly, free bus rides and lower grocery costs. So he just ran a flat out a good race. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in New York. I mean, there are people who are predicting how bad it was prior to Giuliani taking over. And it very well could be that if he pulls back on the police force and other left-wing promises that he made.
To that point, Jim, I read an article where he, from the Democratic left side of the equation, he ran a great race. I mean, it was well targeted, well managed. He didn't get distracted. As crazy as it all is, he ran the ideal left race. Do you think this becomes a model for the future, and especially midterm?
Well, no, I do not think his message, his campaign will resonate, but his message will not to the rest of this country. However, you bring up a very good point, which is, what do the Democrats do next? I mean, if this is the future, the young future of the Democrat Party, they're going to have a very tough time between, say, Virginia and Oregon, in the middle of the country, with free everything, and we're going to raise taxes on everybody who makes over $20,000 a year.
Okay, this it's really interesting. So how does this affect, in your opinion, Newsom? I mean, does he put his arm around Mondami, or does he run on his own?
I think he runs on his own because he can. He's been around long enough where I don't think he may need to embrace, AOC, at arm's length, and a couple folks like that, but full blown out arms around him, no way. But I will tell you one thing about Newsom, Perry, and that's it. And I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago. His getting behind strongly Prop 50, which wound up winning almost 2-1 in California, was a brilliant political move, in that there's a very strong anti-Trump, obviously, anti-Trump sentiment in the Democratic Party, and he took Trump on head-to-head, and he beat him. And so I think that's going to help him now as we look towards 2028 and how the Democrats are going to start maneuvering towards the nomination.
So that win, he needed that win.
Oh, absolutely, he did.
Yeah, he needed that win, because if he didn't get it, he would really be in bad shape. But when you look at the map and you look what they're trying to do, it's not clear to me, Jim. I don't know. You got your nose to the ground. I don't. But there seems to be interest in the commissioners in these counties that are going to be gerrymandered of suing the state. Now, I don't know how that works. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not, but it also doesn't surprise me. I mean, there are 5 or 6 or 7 Republicans who are due to lose their seats under those new map. And so if the county commissioners are Republican, which there are a lot of them, especially in the northern part of the state, they want to try to save those guys seats in Congress. So, and it was in the California Constitution, I believe. I'm not sure if this completely overturned, Prop 50 completely overturned that, or made it just a temporary move. I think it's just a temporary move, but it's going to be a mess out there. And I mean, you talk about Newsom's doing well with their victory. I mean, and then you look at the other side in Virginia. Glenn Youngkin endorsed the 3 folks that lost, and so his presidential aspirations were hurt as well. So you got a lot of stuff going on right now, and a lot of people are analyzing every single vote on it.
Did you listen to any of the audio exchange from the Supreme Court justices and Trump's team on the tariff issue?
I read it. I read about it, and this is going to be an interesting ruling. There are a lot of quote unquote originalists, the Republicans or the conservatives on the court, who would be inclined normally not to give Trump that kind of power to do those tariffs. So, but they've been very good to Trump up to this point on various rulings of all kinds. Again, I'm against too much executive power, and so that would tell me that they're not going to vote to support Trump completely behind his tariffs. It's going to be an interesting ruling. It's going to have a major impact. I mean, Trump is basically claiming right now that if they rule against him, it's going to destroy this country.
Okay, so, all right. To me, it's very complicated, because if they rule against him, how do you repay all this stuff? And where does it come from? And who sues who? I mean, this could be an economic disaster.
I agree completely. And I had the same question because on how they're going to give money. Is it going to be a tax credit? Is it going to be a tax refund? I mean, how do you value that to each specific voter or family? I mean, it is going to create some major problems. But then again, there are businesses, including one I know very well in Oregon, who is dying to have those tariffs overturned because it's affecting how they can actually build things in this country versus having to have it built overseas. So there are a lot of questions coming up, and I don't know what the answers are.
At the end of the day, this is a result of an ambiguity in the law. So could they just say, all right, that was then and this is now? Stop that, but this is the way we're going forward?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And adding to more confusion in this city like it needs it. Yeah. But I mean, it's got to be done. We've got to decide how much power we're going to give the executive in this country to be able to do this. And again, the Republicans are all happy to give it to Trump, but if they lose the presidency, which they very well could, then they're going to say, hey, what is he doing? He shouldn't be able to do that. Sorry, guys, you supported it for one guy. You can't support it for the other. So
that brings up the nuclear option, the filibuster. You know, we got it because of Harry Reid, and he used it, and now the Republicans are afraid to use it again, and they're not bending with the president on this. What's your take on that mess?
It's again, I think that it would benefit Trump in the short term. It could hurt Republicans very badly in the long term. I'd say keep the rules like they are. Work with them. It was Harry Reid with Bob Byrd's assistants back in the day, but I think it's got long-term problems if we get rid of that filibuster. I think it keeps things even and forces the Senate to compromise, which, quite frankly, we need to do, especially with how divided things are in this country.
So we're in the biggest, longest mass shutdown we've ever seen. Air travel is being tremendously impacted. They're saying billions of dollars in revenue a day from the airline industry, and you can go on down the list. The Democrats came out of a meeting yesterday saying, you know what, this thing is working so well, it's hurting so many people, and we're now turning the table on Trump. It's working in our favor. We're not going to do anything. What do you think?
Well, I agree. I mean, the poll numbers were already showing that voters were starting to blame Republicans for the shutdown. And I will tell you that if this affects Thanksgiving Day travel, this country is going to go absolutely nuts. There are a lot of things that voters will put up with, occasional higher taxes, different regulations here and there. But when it comes to interrupting their Thanksgiving with their families, they're not going to accept that at all. So I think there are some lower level members of the Senate who are talking right now, and usually that's the way these things get resolved. They're coming up with a couple of different alternatives or plans that both sides can accept without making it look like they lost or they caved. And I think that the Senate leadership, Thune et al., will go down with a vote and say, listen, Mr. President, you've got to take this and you got to sign this. So I see something happening. Well, probably not this week because it's Friday, but next week, mid next week, I think they'll get it resolved.
So are you saying the Republican Senate's acquiesce?
No, I'm saying that there are lower level, like not senior levels, senators who are talking and trying to come up with a plan. And I think that they will, and they're going to hand it to Thune and say, it's going to be both parties. Neither side loses or neither side wins on that, which is eventually that's what this is all about. And Thune will take it to the president and say, we're going to vote for this and we're going to support it. It's going to end the shutdown. You need to sign it. And I think it'll be over by the middle of next week.
You have any idea what those elements are?
I think they'll address probably the tax credits on Obamacare. I think that'll be something the Republicans give. I think also that some of the firings that went on, they'll pull that back. And I think what the Republicans get, I'm not sure, but I think probably reduction in spending. That I think it's $1.5 trillion for the Obamacare subsidies. I think they'll pull that number back significantly. So Republicans will say, okay, we didn't sell out on the budget deficit.
Interesting. Don't you find it interesting that the Affordable Care Act needs subsidies to stay alive?
And then it's called Affordable Care Act. Yeah, yes, I do. The problem is that Republicans still want to get rid of Obamacare, and it's so many people, Republicans and Democrats, are using it. It really can't go anywhere with right now, and that's the way the Democrats set it up back when they passed this way back when. So they've got to work within the parameters of what they've got, and try to pull back a little bit. But they're never going to get rid of Obamacare. That's a done deal.
So the big JD prediction is
shutdown. Yeah. Next Thursday, I think. Next Thursday it'll be done. I was looking at my predictions with you a few weeks ago, and I go, boy, I didn't do so well on some of this.
Well, we'll see what happens. Just one other quick question. Do you think after this blue coalition win, I realize it's blue areas and all that, but at the end of the day, it was a win for the blue, no question about it. Do you think this is a wake-up call of how vulnerable the midterms could be?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to throw this stat at you. Every single time that both the New Jersey and Virginia governors and the New York mayor go Democrat, it means a windfall for the Democrats the following midterm election. So there is definitely a wake-up call here. I think Trump needs to stop talking about tariffs and talk more about inflation, which, by the way, has not gone down significantly like he promised. And he needs to work on that right now and stop worrying about the East Wing and these peripheral issues and get to what the American people need. And they want lower prices.
Just wanted you to know, Peggy wants to dance with you in the new ballroom.
I might be able to arrange that.
Good to see you, Jim. Thanks for your time, buddy.
All right, have a great weekend.
Bye.
Hi, I'm the SOS Alarm guy, here to tell you about a great deal. SOS Alarm will not only beat any internet deal, but will install the system too. So burglars, beware. SOS Alarm for security and beyond.
Stewardship begins with the knowledge that nothing belongs to us, but everything belongs to the Lord. This helps us to run a business not in the fear of lack, but in the assurance of His care and provision. Such a perspective eliminates the drive to sell and replaces it with a heart that says serve. This begins with serving our clients and coworkers with integrity and genuine care. That's why McKelly's is automotive service with a heart for God and treating others as we ourselves would want to be treated. Our promise is to never sell our clients anything we don't believe they need. Another is to do all we can to meet other needs, such as shuttle service and loaner cars, or taking the time to really listen, even at times praying with our customers. Sometimes this means sacrifice, going above and beyond, but that's why I work for Kelly's Automotive Service, honoring God while serving people with honesty and integrity.
Clean water is essential to your good health. Ultra Pure Purified Water has been delivering purified, healthy drinking water to the Rogue Valley since 1995. Locally owned and family run, Ultra Pure Purified Water uses a multi-stage process ensuring your delivery of water is 99.8% pure, so your family stays hydrated and healthy. Online at ultrapurewaterinc.com or call 541-734-0828. 541-734-0828.
Okay, welcome back, and delighted to have with us when we always get a chance to sit down with the professor, and we're talking about Dr. Murray Sabrin, Emeritus Professor of Finance at Ramapo College there in New Jersey, the author of several books, including his autobiography, which, by the way, is a fascinating read. It's called From Immigrant to Public Intellectual, An American Story. There's a picture of the cover of the screen there, on the screen, I should say. He also has a website, Murray Sabrin, SABRIN.substack.com. theDove.com. Professor, good to see you again. Friend, how are you?
Great to be with you, Perry. That website that you just put up, that's my new website, MafiUSA.com.
Oh, that's right. I can tell by your hat there. Make America Financially Independent?
No, it's Make Americans Financially Independent.
Oh, Americans.
This is the difference between MAGA and MAFI. MAFI is about the individual, the family, and the community. It's not about, quote, the country. Okay. What made America great is all the men and women who came to America, were born in America, and toiled and made this country's economy the envy of the world.
All right, cool stuff. Good to see you. A couple of quick things. You wrote that the election was a result of the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing, expecting different results.
Well, that's it. I mean, I've been around a long time, Perry, and I've seen the Democrats keep on pushing the envelope. More spending, more regulation, more money printing. And here we are in 2025 with a $38 trillion debt, nearly a $2 trillion deficit as far as the eye can see, and endless wars. And, of course, the money printing from the Federal Reserve, which makes the country unaffordable for the average citizen. And that's what drove voters to Mamdani's column on Election Day. And not surprisingly, he didn't talk about the Federal Reserve, which is the engine of inflation. And everyone who understands economics and money and banking knows that. But for some reason, politicians are unwilling to criticize the Fed, except my good friend Ron Paul, who ran for president twice, and Rand Paul and Thomas Massie of Kentucky. So again, the evidence is there. It's clear. Unaffordability is the result of the Federal Reserve printing money, which drives up prices.
How are we doing on inflation these days?
Well, not so good. I mean, we're living in an independent living facility here in Southwest Florida. We just got notice that our monthly fee is going up 4.5%. From the neighbors I've spoken to the last few days, they are really upset about this. And for the president to say there's no inflation has been defeated, really shows a lack of understanding of what's going on in the country. I mean, food prices keep on going up. Electricity prices, which was a big issue in the New Jersey gubernatorial campaign, are going through the roof. They're up 19% from a year ago. And so prices are not coming down. They're not even stabilizing. They're continuing to go up. And the president seems to be out of touch with what's happening to the average American household.
Okay. In the meantime, as you know, did you listen to any of those audio arguments yesterday in the Supreme Court on tariffs?
I certainly did. And Greg Ip has a wonderful column in today's Wall Street Journal. I think it could be a 9-0 decision against the tariffs because clearly the legislation from 1977 gives president the authority to, quote, regulate foreign trade. Tariffs are not in the legislation. So I think the justices were pretty skeptical of the notion that the president unilaterally can impose tariffs, which are essentially taxes on imported goods. And they realize that this is the purview of the Congress. So if it's a 9-0 decision, it'll show that the members of the Supreme Court are following the Constitution.
So what could be the impact of if that is the decision, and these tariffs have to be either returned or tax credit given, all this and that, what financial impact is that going to have?
Well, I've never heard a president say that taxes are good for the economy. Democrats used to say that years ago, but in recent years, no Democrat has said as a president or a governor that taxes are good for the economy. Taxes are never good for the economy because they take money out of the hands of the workers, of the businesses that need that money for their own benefit. And so the government is bloated. We know that. It's got too many workers. It spends too much. And so the president should come out forcefully and say, we have a problem. It's called big government. And instead of saying that, he's trying to raise revenue through the tariffs to try to balance the budget, which, of course, is so out of whack that we need to cut spending. And I've been advocating this for, 30, 40 years, if not more, that we have an unconstitutional federal budget. And that's the real crisis we have in Washington, D.C.
I think most of us understand that. I guess my question is, if the court rules against him, will it have a catastrophic impact on the economy?
No, because the tariffs only raise a few $100 billion out of a $7 trillion budget. So we're talking about maybe a couple percent of revenue that's coming into the federal government. I mean, the president should say a free market economy is the best path to prosperity, and tariffs and taxes are the same thing. They take money out of the hands of the people. And if he said that, people would understand that better than saying that tariffs are the greatest thing since sliced bread. I mean, I don't understand this rationale because it makes no sense from an economic or a financial perspective.
Well, if I understood those audio exchange, listening to it, what little I did, I'm going, whoa, they are not, the justices, they're not happy with this. And if it's 9-0, wow.
Well, I think you intellectually, you have to come to the realization that you have to follow the Constitution. The reason that we're in this mess today, Perry, the reason we have shutdowns is because the members of Congress and the president, whoever the president is, don't follow the Constitution regarding spending. And that's why we have this humongous federal budget. And when the two sides don't agree on a budget, you tend to get these crises called shutdowns. And from my perspective, all federal workers that are not getting paid should not be working, because that's tantamount to slavery, that you're working and not getting paid for your labor. And so the unions that represent federal workers should say, our workers are not going to come, our members are not going to go to work unless they get paid. And that would really put, I think, a challenge to the Congress to come up with the budget as quickly as possible.
Sounds political, and I don't mean it to be, Professor, but the federal workers union blame the Democrats for this.
Well, absolutely, because the Democrats are holding up the vote for the budget. If 60 senators vote, 53 Republicans and 7 Democrats, the budget is passed. So the Democrats are the ones that are hanging it up. And isn't it anti-democratic that you need 60 votes to pass a budget? We're supposed to have a majority rule in this country, so all you need is 53 votes to pass the budget, and the Republicans are unwilling to give up the filibuster because they feel that the Democrats down the road could pass horrendous legislation. But the problem is, then elect people to the Senate and the House that are going to stand foursquare for the Constitution and not support these unsustainable spending programs.
Okay, so a little bit hypothetical. So let's assume they solve this problem next week. How much damage has it done?
I don't think it's done much damage, because apparently workers will get paid for the time they didn't work. I think that's always been the process that happens when you have a shutdown. But the point is, they're not having a debate in this country about what the government should spend money on. And Trump should come out and say, enough is enough. We're spending money we don't have. We cannot sustain these programs that we have. And here's the real issue from a political point of view, Perry, is that the Democrats have created the welfare state and the Republicans have been the caretakers of the welfare state, because nothing has been repealed since the New Deal. The Great Society programs, they're all in place. Nothing has been repealed. Reagan campaigned to get rid of the Department of Education and Energy. Here it is 45 years later, and they're still there. So again, it shows you how embedded these programs are once they get established. And I think the Republicans need a candidate to tell the truth to the American people. The federal government is not responsible for the economy. The federal government is not your daddy. Financial independence is one of the founding principles of our country, and we need to expand it as quickly as possible. And that's why I'm so passionate about this concept. And I've created a website, mafiausa.com, for people to appreciate that as we approach the 250th anniversary of the Declaration, we still have an unfinished job. It's called financial independence.
MAFIUSA.com. Check it out. That's his new website. There's a picture of it. Get the hat. Get one of the green or black hats or blue hats there. Hey, Professor, thank you. You clarified a lot of stuff. Let's see how this goes. I want to talk to you when they open this up and see where we go from here.
Okay, I appreciate it, Perry. And Mafia USA is what's going to save the country.
Okay, see you.
I think
hey, send me one of your hats, buddy.
I will.
Okay, see you later.
Take care.
Welcome to Fish Lake Resort. where adventure is everywhere. And everyone is your friend. The fishing is great. And the food is tasty. The RV sites are full hookup, and the cabins are cozy. It's always a good time at Fish Lake Resort. And the best part is, you can come visit any day of the year because we are open all year, 7 days a week. Visit fishlakeresort.net today to learn more and plan your visit.
Come fall in love with Northridge Senior Living, where contemporary sunlit interiors meet old world elegance. Walk through our lovely hallways and enjoy the fun staff-led activities. Forge lasting friendships with other residents and our exceptional caregivers. Dine in style. Gather near the fireplace under breathtaking chandeliers. Our reasonably priced apartments are spacious with private balconies. Northridge is Christian-owned and operated, pet-friendly, and only 2 blocks from Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center. On-site 24/7 in-home care is available. We also offer senior adult daycare where your loved one can spend the day with us and the evenings with you. Northridge Senior Living, your home.
We all have questions about heaven. Many assume we can't know the answers, but nothing could be further from the truth. God's Word is full of detailed information about heaven if we only know where to look. Join Dr. David Jeremiah for his new series, The Promise of Heaven, as he uncovers the answers to your most pressing questions about your eternal home. On The Next Turning Point, here on this station.
Weekends on the Dove TV.
Well, welcome back, and I've been looking forward to this special time together with a friend and hopefully the next governor of the state of Oregon, and that's Christine Drazan. She's a senator now, formerly minority leader in the House there in the legislature in the state of Oregon, but she's here. Thanks. Good to see you.
It's so good to be here. It's so good to be back. I'm great.
You look rested. You ready again?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay.
Rested and ready, as they say.
All right. Well, you have decided to run for governor. You've announced. What made you go for it again?
I think that our state still needs leadership, and things haven't gotten better for Oregon families. More than anything else, I believe that Oregonians are ready for the chance to fight for their future. And in the last election, I believe that we had an opportunity in front of us in that election, no doubt, and we got close. And so I think now it's time to push it over the finish line and actually get this done for Oregonians.
Good for you. All right, the mess. $4.3 billion to fix a $350 million problem. How'd that ever happen?
That's government math for you. That's government math.
Yeah, tell me that.
It is Democrats with poor leadership and poor judgment that don't care that Oregonians can't afford it. There's no way of getting around the truth that we had so many people, thousands and thousands of people responded when we were in legislative session. How do you feel about a 6-cent gas tax? How do you feel about a doubling of your payroll tax if you're a worker in the state? How do you feel about the doubling of your registration fees? They all said, can't afford it, can't afford it. Please don't do this. And we gave them alternatives. There was a way to balance that budget. You know, $350 million, that's doable. You can do that within existing revenues. And they declined. They said, we want money from Oregonians and we're going to take it whether they like it or not. And now the governor's not even signing the bill. She said it was an emergency. She had to rush it through. We had to have a special session. Now she's sitting on her hands, refusing to sign the legislation because she does not want Oregonians to have the opportunity to be able to have the final say in those cost increases, and that's wrong.
Okay, so statute-wise, when did she have to sign it?
So she has 30 days from the sine die, which is technical term for when we closed out session. And as I understand it, she's going to drag out that whole time. And the reason she's doing it is because the process to be able to pursue those signatures is also time limited. So she's making sure they only have 30 days to get 100,000 signatures in the door.
But the momentum's there, don't you think?
100% the momentum's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what if this gets on the ballot? What happens? Let's say they get the signature, gets on the ballot. Does that stop it from being implemented?
It does.
Okay, and then if it gets voted down, it doesn't go in effect.
Yeah.
So how do you fix the $350 million problem? You still have it, don't you?
You go back and you make the choice that you should have made all along to cut wasteful spending and to balance the budget within existing revenues. Right now, they have all kinds of taxes on you and me that are dedicated to things other than fixing potholes and striping roads and clearing out snow. And they're spending money, hundreds of millions of dollars, on DEI, climate, and in particular, that payroll tax is dedicated to transit, which means workers across our state are paying today for a service that less than 2% of Oregonians even use, but every single worker in the state pays for it. And so redirecting some of that money to core functions of government is how you get it done. I mean, you prioritize. Like every family, you have a limited amount of money. You don't print money in your home. We don't print money at the state. Yeah. You got to balance the budget. And so the way to get it done is for Democrats to go back, if it doesn't pass, and I anticipate it will go down, to go back and say, Oregonians can't afford this, and we're going to find a way.
All right, so a little hypothetical. So let's move ahead. She loses this. The Oregonians voted down. That's pretty bad for her.
It is pretty bad for her, but it's good for Oregonians.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But for your election, I mean, is that what you're hearing? Are you hearing the tax thing being the biggest?
Affordability, and so the tax is tied to that. Okay. Oregonians are saying Oregon is the 10th highest rate of food prices in the nation today in our state. It's also the 10th highest for income taxes in the nation. And we know we have among the highest gas tax in the nation. We're top 5. And so just these are all day-to-day costs and expenses that are put on Oregonians from politicians that made these choices. I mean, sometimes you'll say, you know, we have inflation. Biden was in office and we talked a lot about the federal government and how they were driving inflation. In Oregon, we're doing that to our people too. It's state level choices that we're making for what kind of tax burden we put on people, what kind of regulatory burden we put on our businesses. We're driving those costs and we have got to stop. And so it's bad for Tina for the tax. I think that it's an indictment for leadership, and I think it's an appropriate, fair indictment for leadership. This is her idea. Mm-hmm. Her idea is, I'm not gonna cover these costs with existing revenues. I want more of your money from your pocket, like empty your pockets for me. And Oregonians don't want that. So I think it's appropriate that she would be on the ballot with her tax increase. It seems exactly right.
All right, good. I see the strategy. So the other thing is just overall business regulations. Mm-hmm. Oregon attracting businesses, instead businesses are leaving. What's your take?
It's the regulatory environment and the tax environment. I mean, we live in one of the most beautiful places in the nation. Why wouldn't everybody want to locate here? Right. If they're going to Ohio, it's not for the beaches. Yeah. It's for the policies. If they're leaving for Arizona and Nevada, it's because they need to be able to, you know, sustain their business and grow their business. They're making business decisions based on the regulatory environment and the business tax environment. And we have got to be more competitive. We need to listen to businesses who say, I feel like I have to get a permit to get a permit. Like it's never ending. And they're asking for relief. And we need to listen to that and say, what will it take for you to greenlight this project in Oregon? What will it take for you to invest here? And we need to be partners with that because we need this state to be strong and stable. I'm running for governor, and I have made it really clear I want Oregon to be the #1 place in the nation to start a business, grow your business, raise a family. And that is absolutely possible, but we can't keep doing what we've been doing if we want to make that happen.
People say, well, the payroll tax under this proposed legislation only went up 1%. That's a 100% increase.
That's double, yeah.
And I don't think people calculate that through, especially those who have never made a payroll. Are people getting that?
I don't think people are confused about how expensive it's going to be for them. And I think that the people that want to raise taxes are always going to try to spin it. Like, you know what? It's not that much. 0.1. Come on, that's not very much.
Yeah.
It actually is. In a family that's struggling to put food on the table and pay rent and utilities are going through the roof. It costs so much now for property taxes. It costs so much now for our energy bills, and people cannot afford it. So the payroll tax is in there. It's extraordinarily expensive. You know what's crazy? In the first proposal, the Democrats wanted that payroll tax to go up 500%. And in the end, they settled for it to go up 100%. But their initial idea, their initial concept was a $15 billion tax increase over 10 years with a 500% increased cost in the payroll tax on Oregon's workers, which meant Oregon's workers would have taken home less every single pay period. And so they can't afford it. We need to get on the ballot.
All right. Where are you with education? How are we doing?
48th in the nation.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say it, but you did. Go ahead.
Well, and when we're here because we have teachers union bosses that are dictating what happens with new education dollars rather than teachers themselves in the classroom, rather than our local school boards. The state has virtually decided to do a takeover of our local school districts, and that's done nothing but make our kids suffer. And it's put too much ideology and politics in our classroom. If we're serious about, making Oregon the #1 place in the nation to be able to get a world-class education, which I am, then that means that we have got to get politics out of the classroom, ideology out of the classroom. We need to give parents choices. Right now, the governor has rulemaking, which is kind of the shadow government, where they add more bureaucracy to all of us. But they do the same thing to schools. Right now, they're trying to do a takeover of our charter schools. That's incredibly dangerous. Charter schools are out there to give parents alternatives, to allow the education system to be able to innovate. And instead, under the guise of accountability, it really is a takeover of the final place where people can really innovate in Oregon schools right now. And charter schools are rising up in opposition to it, but so should parents, so should families. We need more choice, not less.
So what would parent choice look like in education?
Well, for me, it means that if a student isn't being served by their own district, that family should be able to go where that student can be served.
And have their tax dollars follow them?
And have their tax dollars follow that student. I think some of the proposals that have been out there that I have supported have kept some of those tax dollars in their local resident district and have some of those tax dollars follow the student. I think that seems like a balanced approach. I think it's important that we maintain strong public schools, but those public schools need to do a good job. And right now they have a monopoly, and they are not accountable to kids. It's our students that are the ones that are being failed right now. You cannot expect that third grader that doesn't have the opportunity to learn to read because that teacher wasn't trained in the science of reading, you can't expect that kid is going to be thriving by 8th grade unless somebody intervenes. So we have got to get the dollars where the greatest need is, which is tutoring. It is opportunities for kids to be focused on reading and math, and we need to stop doing the spending that gets dollars into the hands of people that instead have an ideological agenda.
How can the DOE be proud of being number 48?
They should be ashamed. They should be ashamed. People should lose jobs. People should be fired over the position we find ourselves in. It's not our kids.
Yeah.
It's our teachers. We have great teachers across Oregon who are feeling hamstrung because they cannot manage their classrooms. The system has tied their hands to be able to actually manage their classrooms, and then it mandates one mandate upon another for what they can teach in their classroom and how. And it has left good teachers wanting to leave the profession. The growth that we're seeing in employment in our states in two categories. We're losing jobs in manufacturing, private sector, you name it. Growth is in private education and healthcare. And to me, that says great teachers that really want to teach, really want their students to be able to hit their marks. They're making the decision to leave the public sector side and they're going to the private education side. Yeah.
All right, let me take a quick break. Delighted to have with us today Christine Drazen. She's now a senator running for governor. What's your website?
It's ChristineForOregon.com.
There you go.
Can't miss it.
ChristineForOregon.com. Very pretty simple. There's a picture of the landing page. And we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Applegate River Golf and RV Resort, a pristine 9-hole course alongside the Applegate River. Their clubhouse offers a golf simulator experience. The RV Resort is adjacent to the golf course with convenient pull-through parking. Applegate River Golf and RV Resort. Information at applegaterv.com.
Bulls, bears, and other market beasts. How can you be sure they won't eat your investments alive? I'm Michelle Slate. Lighthouse Financial shines guiding light on retirement, investing, and insurance. As you navigate the stormy seas of investing, Lighthouse stands out as a beacon of hope, offering you wise counsel and biblically responsible investing. Lighthouse Financial. Call us today, 541-494-1034.
Life is complicated enough. Why worry about what to do with your extra car? Skip the costs of maintaining it, storing it, insuring it, or renewing registration. Car repairs? Forget about it. Here's one easy solution to your car problem. Donate it to our station. It's fast, free, tax deductible, and if you donate, you're going to feel incredible knowing you're supporting quality programming. Interested? Just call this toll-free number or donate online. Thank you.
I'm Susanna, and I contracted KA Designs to do custom cabinets throughout my house. We chose a really beautiful maple wood that really creates like a nice airy space. Everything was custom, and it was really cool because I got to literally see it come to life in person. We love to entertain, and we have a large family, so everything came together perfectly, exactly what I wanted. I highly suggest KA Designs if you're looking to design your dream house. Go check them out in their showroom. You will not be disappointed.
Experience evangelism like never before. Way of the Master, an award-winning reality TV show tackling hard questions and bold street witnessing that will leave you inspired. Watch Thursdays and Fridays on the Dove TV.
Okay, welcome back, and what an honor to have with us today Senator Christine Drazan. She is, no stranger to Oregon politics. She recently served as the minority leader in the Oregon House. Now she's a senator, and she's going to run for governor, or is running for governor again. And so you can go to christinefororegon.com, and there's a picture of the landing page right there. You can check that all out. Good stuff. All right, lots to talk to you about. One of the big things that came out was the proposed fire map, and then Senator Golden decided to vote against it. But the residual effect of that in the insurance world, property values, ability for people to get financing on the home, it's just been horrible.
Yeah. It's
what do we do
brutalized.
now, Coach?
You know, it was really important to get the repeal of that map across the finish line.
Right.
It was important to recognize that harmed Oregonians. It had to go. But now we find ourselves in a situation where the harm has been done, to your point, for a lot of these families, and costs are through the roof. We need to partner with the administration and do a better job of managing our forests, first of all. And we also have got to figure out how to get those insurance costs back down to reality again. There were so many folks that I heard from when we were talking about these maps in this last session that were saying, I'm never going to be able to sell my home. Like it's not worth what it used to be worth because somebody has tagged it as a high risk area, and now nobody wants to buy it. Everybody thinks the insurance is going to be too expensive. And that was because of stuff that we did as a legislative body. That's something that Senator Golden certainly pushed through the process, and then realized after he heard from Oregonians that stood up, particularly in his own district down here in Southern Oregon. They said, knock it off, like look what you've done to me. And he came around, and we had a bipartisan bill to repeal it. So I think that now that the damage is done, we got to figure out how to keep people in their homes, and we've got to figure out how to make our communities more safe from fire. But a big part of that is making sure that our forests are managed. We can't act like a hands-off approach has been working. It hasn't. We either manage those forests or they're going to burn. I mean, it's fuel, as they say, fuel on the landscape. And so I do think that we have an opportunity right now with the federal administration and the Trump administration to be able to take a different approach with our partners. I mean, so much of Oregon, 60%, is public lands and not private. And so, you know, they have got to begin to manage these lands here in Oregon for the benefit of Oregonians, for the benefit of our nation, and to keep us all safer. Down here, I remember in summers down here where we would just be socked in with smoke.
Yep.
And it would be summer after summer that the smoke would come, and you'd otherwise be having the most magnificent summer ever down here. But the smoke has a real negative impact on quality of life down here. So I think you have to manage the forest. We have to get our hands around insurance costs and try to figure out how we can bring those costs back down. And certainly we need to stop the regulatory push to push everybody out of rural parts of our state. There's something about the fire maps that felt like there was an intent to say everybody should live somewhere urban.
Right.
And we don't want people to live wherever they want.
Yeah.
We want you to live on I-5. And we want you to live in, you know, the suburbs.
Right.
And we can't do that. That's not the Oregon way.
No.
This gorgeous place, people should be able to live where they want.
Yeah, right.
And we shouldn't price them out of their homes. So it was important to repeal the map. I'm grateful to have done that. But we still have a lot more work to do.
You've mentioned several times affordability, and I know that's a key to your thinking. How do we make Oregon affordable? I know you talked about a lot of issues there, but at the end of the day, families meeting a monthly budget is getting harder and harder. You got $4.3 trillion coming at, or $1 billion coming at us for the next 10 years. How do we do this?
Yeah. We have got to reduce the regulatory burden. That drives costs for businesses. When I talk to businesses, they'll say, listen, these are 3 or 4 employees that are shadow employees. They don't do anything to move my business forward. Their job is just to file the paperwork. Their job is just to meet the regulatory burden. That increases costs for goods and services. It just does. And so we are one of the highest regulated states in the nation for businesses, and we have some of the highest taxes. Oregon, from like 2019 to this year, 2017, 2019 to 2025, we saw our competitiveness for what the business environment is like go from 7th in the nation down to 38th. I mean, the drop has been precipitous. That means that businesses here, it costs more to do business here. That means that whatever they're providing for all of us costs more for us. And so some of the ways that we can lower costs here will be to improve the regulatory environment, but it has got to be to cut taxes. There's not another way to make it easier for Oregonians to survive than to take less of their money and let them keep more of it. And then we have got to grow our economy, which means more businesses, because that's more jobs. More jobs across our state will make it more stable for families. I mean, my family struggled with unemployment when I was growing up. I mean, I'm from Klamath Falls. And when I was young, my dad worked in lumber mills, and he's doing the best he could by our family. But as those jobs started to dry up, it doesn't just affect that one mill. It starts to affect the whole community. The whole place changes. When an employer goes out of business, then everybody that did business with that business goes out, struggles.
Sure.
And so those ripple effects matter. And so if we're talking affordability, it means we're also talking stability. We're talking personal safety for folks, whether or not your kids are hungry, whether or not you feel like you are stable enough financially to be able to take care of your family and keep them safe. It's all connected to each other.
Back to just running the state. Is the state bureaucracy too fat? And why haven't we done more audits on agency to see if they're running efficiently?
Yeah, they do audits, but they're kind of fake.
That sounds like government.
I know. They do audits to make sure 1 and 1 equals 2. They don't do audits to ask the question, should the 1 and the 1 have ever been spent in the first place?
Right.
And so I think we have lacked leadership for so long that the mindset has always been that the government should do everything for everyone, instead of government should have a narrow role, and government should have hard, sharp edges. And outside of that, you have freedom. And you work in your community, and you work with your faith-based community, or you work with your local nonprofits, or you work hard to get that done. And for too long, we've had leaders who believe that government's the solution. Government is the problem. I think Ronald Reagan was pretty clear about that, wasn't he?
Right, very clear.
And so he was right.
Yeah.
We don't need government to solve every single problem. We need government to get out of the way, and we need government to get smaller and do core functions. We've been talking a lot recently about hunger in Oregon because the SNAP benefits were in question. And I believe that government has a role in our safety net. I think that that's proper. But you go too far outside of this and you enable a culture of dependency. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We want to respect people enough to know they have something to contribute. We'd like to invite their contributions to their families into our communities.
Just back to ODOT for a moment, the $350 million shortfall, isn't that a management issue within the agency?
Oh, 100%.
So
Preaching to the
why
choir.
are we fixing that?
Yeah, somebody needs to be fired. They came before the legislature and they said that they had an accounting error of over $1 billion.
Yeah.
And they were super proud to say that they didn't spend the fake money that was never really there, but they accidentally were accounting for it. Nobody got fired. Nobody's held accountable in these agencies. We have leadership right now that is, managing for headlines, not managing agencies. And not managing government. They're too focused on public perception, not focused enough on metrics, accountability, results. We don't have leaders right now that are focused on results. And if we did, the billions of dollars that have been spent on homelessness would mean that we had fewer homeless on our streets. And instead, we're spending billions and we're not seeing any improvement. And that's the same in schools. It's the same for public safety. It's the same for homeless response. It's certainly the same for addiction. We have in Oregon statute right now definitions of recovery that don't include sobriety. Like,
what?
I know. Recovery, according to Oregon's statutory definition, assumes that somebody is satisfied with the condition of their life at that stage. And it doesn't include sobriety. And that's enabling behavior. That is low expectations. That's what allows people to continue to live on our streets and slowly die in front of all of us. It is a human tragedy. It's wrong. It's morally wrong. And it's been going on for too long.
A couple other quick questions before I run out of time. How do you think the ag industry in the state of Oregon is doing?
They're struggling.
So what's the answer?
The answer is to stop regulating them out of business. This session was so hard to watch. There were bills this session that the ag community came forward and said, we will shut down. We will not grow food if you do this to us. They say the alternative to that is you won't have family-owned farms anymore. Corporations will have to come in, private equity will have to come in and take over our ag industry because nobody else can afford this level of financial exposure and risk. And so our choices were shut down our local family farms or let them be taken over by multinational conglomerates. Those are two really bad, poor policy choices that we shouldn't even be considering. But they are dictating labor costs we can't afford. They're trying to take away the tools of farming, trying to say you cannot use these tools, and we're requiring you to not use these pesticides or not manage for high production farming anymore. Everybody should be small farms that only do farmers markets. They have a place. But we also need farms that actually produce food for all of us to eat and survive. So I think that we need to pay attention to where the ag community's at, and we need to be responsive to what they're asking us to do.
I got about a minute left, so go ahead and look in the camera and tell people why they should vote for you.
There's an opportunity in this election cycle to be able to actually turn our state around. And I am running for Oregon because I believe in the promise of our state, and I believe in the character of our people. I don't believe that Tina Kotek does. I think she doesn't respect Oregonians, and I think that she has not been a governor for the people. I think it's time for her to be one-term Tina. I think it's time for her to know that her performance hasn't been good enough for our state, and we have a chance to work together to turn it around. And I am looking forward to this election cycle, and I'm looking forward to getting across the state, meeting Oregonians, and I'm asking for your votes.
There you go. All right, Christina, it's Christine for Oregon.com. There's a picture of the landing page right there. You can check it all out. And this is the first of many visits when she comes through here. So
Every
the
time.
door is always open for you.
Thank you.
And the best of thanks for coming in, and the best of luck to you.
Thank you, Perry. So good to see you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sherry Breslin with Rogue Valley Security. Whether it's alarms, cameras, keyless entry, or even Starlink, we tailor solutions for your home or business. We believe in professionalism, excellence, and integrity. Every job, every time. Visit RogueValleySecurity.com.
The threat of wildfire poses a growing risk to Oregonians. You can prepare now by taking 3 important steps. Create a home inventory, make copies of important financial records, and contact your insurance company to make sure you have the right amounts and types of home insurance coverage. Be wildfire ready by being insurance ready. Visit dfr.oregon.gov/prepare